Hello, everyone. My name is Ozmourn. Welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. Thank you so much, Cutie, for that amazing episode of Parrotlet's Paths, an amazing Pokemon episode. I absolutely loved that whole thing. I hope you all did too. And we are back here with another episode of the Scenic Route. Before I begin, I just want to say happy Answer Your Cat's Questions Day. Your cat has a lot of questions, and they've gone unanswered, and I feel like you've been ignoring them, and I really think you should give them the attention they deserve. So, with that being said, here we are with a very special episode of the Scenic Route tonight. For those of you that are just tuning in for the first time to this show, the Scenic Route is a show all about glitchless and no major glitches speedruns, or runs that just naturally have little to no glitches in them. And so if you're interested in that kind of content, again, we are here normally Mondays at 10 p.m., but we are moved to Thursday here because of the holiday that happened on Monday. And so with that being said, I'm very excited for this episode. It's all one run, the entire episode. It's a race, as a matter of fact, of Minecraft all advancements between the second and fourth place holders, and so it's going to be a very, very tight race, I can already tell. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Doi Pingu and Oxidiot for an amazing race of Minecraft all advancements, and I hope y'all enjoy it for the rest of the night. Take it away, y'all.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be here. I'm DesktopFolder, one of the commentators tonight, joined by PacManMVC, and I'm so excited to be watching these two runners face off. Doi Pingu, Oxidiot, two of my top 30 favorite all advancements runners. It's so nice to be here with you tonight. How are you two doing?
That's so mean.
Your top 30.
Glad. Am I like 29th or like what's up?
You're in the top 30. It's unordered, okay? It's unordered.
That's all you need to know.
You're both in there, but it's I don't want to pick favorites, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Anyways, the other commentator with me is PacManMVC. Pac, do you want to introduce what the players are going to be doing tonight?
Hi, my name is Pac, and the players are going to be getting 80 advancements in less than 3 hours, hopefully. They're already loaded into the seed. I bet they're just waiting to go. They are playing on the same seed, and we do have some randomness control with a mod that is going to be happening. But if we're good to go, I think we're good to go.
You are good to go. You can give us a countdown whenever you are ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun.
All right. So all AA runs are going to start in basically the exact same way, which is that we're going to be looking for a desert with a desert temple. The main method of transportation throughout the speedrun is going to be using an elytra and rockets. It's just the fastest, most consistent way to move around the world. And to make rockets, we need the gunpowder from the temple. There's a lot of other stuff that's very useful in the temple. I'll talk about each of them as they come up.
Yeah. I will say 80 advancements is, I don't know if it's less or more than what I thought the advancements in this game was, but I don't know why that doesn't sound right to me, but it sounds like a lot to get in 3 hours though. I can say that much.
It's a weird number because you have this feeling when you're playing all advancements, like especially early on, you're kind of like, hey, I've got like 30, 40 advancements. I'm doing really well. But like some of the advancements are insanely easy and a lot of them are really hard, which is similar to a lot of games, but like it's not really a linear thing. So the number is kind of almost irrelevant to the category, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of the progress in the run is doing multiple things at the same time. Like you're looking for multiple things at the same time, and you'll get, obviously the beginning of the game is going to have bursts of advancements just because there's some very simple ones. But as you get into the mid-game, you're going to have bursts of advancements. You're going to see a couple of them pop up, and then you're not going to see anything for like 10 minutes maybe.
No, that makes sense.
So as we look at this temple, I see we have an enchanted golden apple. I knew that was there, but I have to act excited anyways.
Oh my goodness, it's an enchanted golden apple. That's so cool.
Thank you, Folder.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so enchanted golden apple is what do they say on the show? It's like a surprise tool that will help us later. Is that what they say?
Yeah, it's a surprise tool that will help us later. A Mickey Mouse tool, if you will.
Yes, exactly. We've also got iron and diamonds. So we're going to be able to make a diamond pickaxe, hopefully. Or, they can do whatever they want. They can make a diamond hoe if they want.
Diamond shovels.
Sure. Yeah,
Just
2
what I
diamond
wanted.
pickaxes. And then we've got some iron for a bucket.
No, why are we hurting the
other
golem?
things-
No, not the golem. No.
It's all right. He's going to a better place.
It's actually a net
Iron
neutral
farm up
because
north.
we kill this iron golem, but one of the advancements is to create an iron golem, so it'll all cancel
That's
out.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
you
minus
gotta,
one, and
comes
it'll
out in
plus
the
one
wash.
later.
you gotta take life to give life. I get it. I get it.
Oxy, how much
Something.
iron did you get?
Sorry.
I got 4. Did you get 3? Sorry. No, I think I got more because I have an iron axe.
You both have iron axes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
I think it's
Other
probably
things-
a good point in time to mention that while these players are both playing seeds that we provided them, they don't know what's in the seed. So even though the gameplay looks really smooth and clean, like they know exactly what they're doing, like they've already done this before, this is a completely random seed from the runner's perspective right now. They have no idea, other than the fact that what do you mean?
Jinxed
Why would I say
Oxy, by the
that?
way. She messed up her portal the instant you said smooth gameplay.
Okay, I was looking at Doi Pingu's screen, I think. So I take no blame for that one. But yeah, even though these players look like they're doing everything like according to a script, it's just that generally speaking, you do the same kind of thing in the early game in AA. But this is a completely new seed. It's something that these players have never seen before. So it's just really impressive. It's kind of like a testament to how good these players are that they're able to play this early game so cleanly.
You're really
That they're
good at
definitely going to
blazing.
cleanly play this early game.
How similar do you expect the routes to be between these two runners for the
That's
entire
an
this race?
awesome question, and we were talking about this. We don't know what would make the most interesting race. In my opinion, I hope that they fly the exact same direction at every point in the mid game, and then it'll
would
be
be
like
really
they're on
funny.
each other's tails. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's unlikely. They might stick on the same line for the beginning of the mid game, and when we say the mid game, we'll talk about it again when it starts. But that's when we're back in the overworld with our elytra, when we start flying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to, at least from my perspective, to refer to it as like mid game, end game, only because Minecraft doesn't have that sort of linear progression that most games have. But
Yeah, I guess Folder. Let's talk about let's talk about the breakdown of the 3 parts of the run.
Yeah, so I think something that's really interesting about all advancements is that unlike, well, I was about to say unlike other speedrun categories, but I don't really know that, so just forget I was saying anything there. But unlike what you might expect, all advancements really requires you to do multiple speedruns in the same speedrun. You have to be good at the any % speedrun of Minecraft where you kill the dragon as fast as possible in order to be good at AA. You can't be good at AA without also being good at any %. But then beyond that, you still have to do all of this other stuff for the run. So, of course, the early game is demarcated by this any % split. We have to go kill the dragon. We have to go get an elytra in the outer end. You don't do that in any %. You just go through the fountain and your run ends. But we have to go get a bunch of loot from the outer end. And then we're going to be doing a couple more things. And then we're going to start the mid game. Pac, do you want to talk about the mid game?
The mid game is the meat and potatoes. It's the entire life of the run. It's where all the interesting parts happen. This stuff, this Bastion stuff, you've got any %. Everyone's seen this.
You've seen this before, right? You've watched a YouTube video. You've seen, XYZ do their "I got a sub 15 in Minecraft" sort of video. Yeah. Maybe you
The
haven't.
mid game is where we're going to be working towards. There's 5 big advancements. You've got adventuring time, which is finding all the biomes. You've got 2x2, which is breeding all the mobs. You've got monster hunter, which is killing all the hostile mobs. And you've got balanced diet, which is eating all the food. And then you've got a complete catalog, which is taming all the cats. Those are the big ones that you're focused on. Those are the multi-part advancements, you can call them, because all of them have several criteria that you have to meet. I guess this is. There's also.
Should we talk about what's going on in the seed right now, Pac?
Yeah,
I
sure,
feel like
So
we should
skipped
skip
over
back
this
into the seed a
bastion.
little bit.
Yeah, this is a housing bastion. There's 4 bastion types. This one's a housing. You can tell that it's a housing because it's a housing. I don't really know how to.
You can tell it's a housing because of the way it
you've
is.
studied it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the bastions.
Housing's really good. My favorite bastion is Treasure, but I know every AA player hates Treasure, and I know
thought you were gonna give us a Treasure, like honestly.
Yeah, but I decided to be nice. I was nice
Doi
to you.
Pingu narrowly avoids death to that ghast, lowering his render distance to unload the ghast so it couldn't shoot him anymore. Almost shot him off the platform a second time and killed him. So great job to Doi Pingu on surviving that somewhat stressful moment while we were yapping like crazy in comms.
Getting panicked at that. Oh.
Yeah, I was scared, man. I was like, did we implement the reset button in this version of the mod?
Let's see, did you get 20? No, I have 15.
No.
I have 60.
Yeah, so both of our players were looking really sad. I guess if you haven't watched a lot of Minecraft speedruns, you don't really know what that means, but we were watching both of these players and they were kind of looking around in the bastion, looking kind of confused, not really moving super fast like you would expect in a speedrun. And that's because neither of them got 20 obsidian from the bastion. Pac, you want to explain what that means?
Yeah, sure. So obsidian is used to leave and enter the nether dimension. Obviously, you can make another portal using 10 obsidian. But the reason that you would want 20 is if you have 20, you can build one portal wherever you want to leave. And we're going to be doing that right at the spawner. And then we're going to go to the overworld and throw an Eye of Ender. And then we're going to figure out where the stronghold is located. And then we're going to go back into the nether and use the remaining 10 obsidian to go directly to where the stronghold is. The reason you want to do this in the nether is because the nether is on a scale of 8 to 1 with the overworld. So any means of travel is 8 times faster in the nether. A distance of 800 blocks becomes only 100 blocks.
Yeah.
So that's the reason
and
you want 20.
It scales really well with your resources because not only is it 8 times closer, you use 8 times fewer, 1/8. You use 1/8 of the resources to get somewhere. And when it comes to pearls, which you can use to teleport a pretty significant distance, and food, which you need to recover your health after you use a pearl, that's like really important because you only have so many pearls. You don't want to use 8 times as many pearls. That would be extremely slow. So
normally it would be slightly problematic if you'd only had, I think you guys said 15 or 16 obsidian. However, I was so nice to the runners and gave them a diamond pickaxe, which means we can watch them sit here and mine obsidian for a minute instead.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Which is a fantastic time to read out donations if that's a thing we're doing.
Well, we don't have any donations here on GDQ Hotfix, but of course we do have some announcements that we like to tell people during the show. And one thing that I can definitely say is we are having a wonderful special coming up soon called Games Done Blindfolded. Things you can speedrun blindfolded. GDQ Hotfix is hosting a special Games Done Blindfolded showcase on February 21st, 22nd, and submissions are now open. Want to take part? Type !GDB in chat for more details. And while we're here, I do want to just say one thing about this run and ask this question. And that is, we have established that while this is random seed glitchless, the seed is, of course, vetted here by the commentators. The runners do not know what's in this seed. Of course, for the safety of a marathon-type run, we can't just have a random seed that could possibly not be finished in under 3 hours. But you also mentioned that the runners are playing on a mod of some kind. Could you speak on that a little bit?
Of course. So Folder and I have been developing this mod for tournament purposes, but it works just fine for RNG standardization.
After
the main things
completely neutering it, but yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yes.
Yeah.
The reason
a little bit
that this matters is because although there is seed-dependent RNG, for example, when you load up the same seed, you're going to get the same structures and the same loot in the structures. Things like dropping blaze rods is still completely separate. And we wouldn't want Pingu, for example, to get 7 rods from 7 blazes and Oxy to get 0 rods from 7 blazes. The mod just makes it so that RNG is also dependent on the seed itself. So they're going to have the same. And that's going to be the same for their barters. It's going to be the same for blaze rates. It's going to be the same for basically any RNG source that I/Folder thought would be necessary. And I think we've covered our bases pretty well.
Yeah. And it's quite necessary, because you might hear that as somebody who's not super familiar with all advancements and be like, oh, like what's the big deal? You can just play a bit faster, make up the time for it. But all advancements is notorious for being an extremely random category. Obviously, there's a lot of skill involved, but there's also a lot of luck. You need to be skilled in order to play the category consistently so that you can get lucky. And in theory, it could take you an infinite amount of time if you get unlucky enough to complete the run. Like, there's so many different RNG checks within an all advancements run. You know, you could go for 3 for 3 on Wither Skeleton Skulls, and you're out in the span of like 10, 20, 30 seconds. Or you could go, we've seen people go 0 for like 300 on Wither Skeleton Skulls, which is, the span of like dozens of minutes. That's not a good time differential for these two players. Realistically, that probably wouldn't happen, but it's just going to be way, way cleaner and easier to follow what's going on, honestly, if the players are getting the same RNG for different actions.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I mean, that's good to have that sort of standardization. It's definitely going to be a better viewer experience and a runner experience, I'd imagine, when it comes to settings like
one
these.
of the other things you say, viewer experience. Yeah, one of the most volatile parts of AA is Thunder. You need Thunder to be able to finish a run. And it's completely random. There's nothing you can do about it. And if you don't get it to Thunder, you can't finish the run. There's one advancement, very, very frightening, where you need it to be Thundering. And if it isn't Thundering, you just can't get the advancement. There is a whole
oh my goodness,
leaderboard.
Pingu, you are so good. I'm sorry, Pac. You were watching that, right? Were we all watching?
It was a beautiful 0 cycle.
That was a 1 in 8, 2+2 0 cycle. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness this isn't horse, because, Oxy's a fantastic player, but any player of Minecraft speedrunning would kind of struggle to match that. That was wild. I did just spoil a small aspect of the 0 for Oxy, but that's okay. I was kind of thinking about this idea before, that like the information that we give to the runners might, like theoretically we could spoil information for one runner based on what we say for the other one.
Yeah, but you would only ever spoil something for the person that's behind anyway.
That's
so it's
exactly
like a rubber, it's like a rubber
yeah.
banding effect, right? Like in Mario Kart, it's like a rubber banding, so it's fine.
Exactly.
And Oxy gets a 5-bed 0 cycle, which, although not quite as impressive.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Trust me, it's fine. But yeah, we've got a beautiful outer end here, courtesy of someone that's really good at seed finding.
You're talking about yourself. Oh my goodness.
So this is when you get to the outer end. Of course, like we said, the elytra is the main method of transportation. The way you get the elytra is in a end city ship. So not only do you need to get an end city, you need to get one that also has a ship. Here we've gotten a seed that has a very, very close ship. So we're going to get here in maybe just a minute from entering the outer end. And then we're going to be flying around. Just one elytra isn't going to cut it, unfortunately. The durability of an elytra is... It's 1 second of flight time per one durability. So I think you get 7.5 minutes of flight unenchanted, up to about 28 minutes with Unbreaking 3, which they do both have an Unbreaking 3 book. So we're going to look to get about 3 elytras is good for a 3-hour run, is what they're going to be looking for. And this ship over here that's cut off, that's a generation quirk. I won't get into it, even though I would love to. But the reason it matters is there's no elytra on that ship. It's a very rare occurrence, probably about 1 in 1,000 per ship. But it means there's no elytra there. So that ship does not have the most important item for it to have. What else are we looking for in this city folder?
Yeah, so speaking of the city and speaking of RNG standardization, goodness gracious, that's quite the word, like we were talking about earlier, something else that's standardized here that we've standardized in the mod that normally wouldn't be standard, goodness gracious, I've said that word like 5 times, are the shells that we're getting from these little box guys called shulkers. So shulker shells are very, very useful because if you have 2 shulker shells and a chest, you can make a shulker box, which is essentially an extension to your inventory. Not really. It's a chest that you can place down and pick up, essentially. Basically, all advancements players play with 2 shulker boxes. That means that we need to get 4 shulker shells. I really struggle to do the math in my head for that one. We need to get 4 shulker shells. Let's not worry about it, okay? We already talked about the 2+2 earlier. It's fantastic. But yeah, the shell drops are standardized, so it's a 50% chance, but each of these players has to kill the exact same number of shulkers to get 4 shulker shells. Once we've got that and our loot, we're going to be good to get out of here. We're mostly looking for a full set of diamond armor. Ideally, we'll get enchants if we can. But like we're not looking for specific enchants on armor. Well, I mean, we're taking tools and armor that have enchants that we want, of course, but we don't require them getting out of here because we're going to go to the enchanting split pretty soon, which we'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, we're just looking for resources.
Yeah,
yes.
You mentioned enchants on armor. Let's go through some enchants that are very helpful in the all advancements category. There are 3 enchants that are actual hard requirements for the run. Those are 1, channeling, which you need for very, very frightening, allows you to summon thunder while it is thundering. 1 is piercing, which we will need for 2 advancements later. Piercing goes on the crossbow, lets you hit multiple mobs with an arrow. And then the 3rd required is silk touch, which is needed to pick up beehives. But there's a lot of enchants that are just very nice to have. Looting is a big one. Looting on your sword gives more mob drops.
Yeah, we're not playing the run without looting, that's for sure.
Yeah. Looting
it's
is
interesting because you say required, and I was thinking like, oh, what are you going to say? But then, yeah, those three are required, as in you literally cannot complete an all advancements run without them. There's a lot more that are kind of pseudo required in the sense that like if you don't get them, a lot of players will just reset. Like you say, looting is a good example. Enchants on your helmet are usually not necessary, so like you can play without aqua affinity or respiration, which help you do stuff underwater. But you almost always want to get Depth Strider, which allows you to move faster underwater. Obviously, moving faster is good in a speed run, so it's pretty useful, and it's also almost for reasons that we'll explain later. It's very useful towards the end of the run. But yeah, tool enchants though I would say are almost more. Well, you really need an efficiency pick. Is probably the big one. Other than that,
I'm interested in what Oxy is doing with that shulk box right here.
Yeah, we were talking over this shulker transport, as we call it. The biggest advancement of the run is called How Did We Get Here, which is get every effect. One of the effects in the game is levitation, which you get from shulkers. To get this effect later, we are going to bring a shulker to the overworld. We missed it with Oxy. I don't know if Pingu, have you done transport yet?
No.
Okay, so we'll be able to see it again with Pingu in a moment. But nice. The way it works is we can put a shulker in a boat, we can fishing rod the boat, and then by manipulating our render distance, we can unload it in a special way that we can then pull the rod back in from a super far distance, and then the boat will go flying, and we can move the shulker across hundreds of blocks to a gateway. And then that gateway is going to let us bring it to the end island, and then we'll do another transport to get it to the overworld. Shulker transport is, I don't know, is it the coolest trick in AA? Maybe it is. It's
there's a lot of fun tricks in AA, to be fair, but shulker transport is definitely one of the more enjoyable ones to watch. It's always fun to see somebody do it with no F3 too, because you just have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
but
Pingu here is setting up for transport. We're gonna see, we're bridging out, and then I'll just let you watch for a moment here. But yeah, fishing rod, shulker, and boats, and we're gonna go on a short trip.
Does this hurt the shulker?
I don't like even need to.
No, it does not.
Does this hurt the shulker? No. Unless Pingu decides to punch it. But if done properly, it should be harmless to our shulker.
Pingu did something called air yeet there, which is that he punched the shulker off before flying away. friction is actually a mechanic in Minecraft. You typically don't really think about it, but it is there. And there's friction. So when you pull a boat that's on a block, it has a certain amount of friction. You lose approximately 1/3. It's 1/3, right? Something like that.
Sure.
You lose a certain amount of your like momentum that gets applied to the boat when you reel it in. So if you punch it off beforehand and then you unload the boat, so it's just going to stay floating there in the unloaded chunk, you are able to pull it and it'll basically keep all of its momentum. So it'll move a lot faster. It'll move a lot farther, a lot faster. It's just easier to manage in general.
It took us
Big shout out
a couple of years to actually think about area, I think. It took a long time to get.
I invented it on accident because I did it on a run. My sugar went like flying. I was like, oh, wait.
I feel like I remember this actually. That's happened a few times with all advancements.
There was an evil dark age for all advancements where we would put the shulker in a minecart and minecart it to the overworld. That, I mean, it's like building a roller coaster park. You know, it takes a long time to do that.
Yeah. Early all advancements runs used to be like kind of funny 24-hour marathons. So, yeah, there was so much. It's kind of fascinating because you see an all advancements run now in 2026 and you're like, oh, this all kind of looks like it makes sense. Like, yeah, like you see a lot of strats that you're like, oh, I don't fully understand what's going on there. But like, it looks like it makes sense or belongs in a speedrun. But if you look at an older A speedrun, it's so confusing because it's just a ridiculous, it's so much slower, it's so much longer that you kind of, it almost looks like a completely different category. I feel like with any percent hasn't changed that much, right? Like it's still like a lot of the bulk of the run, you can still recognize it, but there's so much stuff that they were doing in these old A speedruns that you just would never see anymore. Hours of time lost trying to get a ghast in the overworld, like goodness.
What are you doing?
And there we go. Now Pingu is back in the overworld. And as you can see, we have our shulker in our boat in the overworld. We're going to leave him there. He's going to be just fine, probably. And we're going to come back to him in about 2 hours.
Oh, is he a surprise tool that's going to help us later?
Yes. This category is a lot of surprise tools.
That's not the right X value, Oxy.
Is it not?
You were at 111.
I'm at -8.
Am I crazy? Maybe I'm bad. I'm sorry.
Wow, backseating the speedrunners.
It should be one shorter.
Isn't it 120?
Negative, I think. Well, you just go to chunk -8 or 8.
Oh, I see. We're on the other side. Okay. That's my bad. I didn't know how that worked. Interesting.
Yeah. This is why Folder is commentating.
Oh, it didn't work. Never mind. I see.
But while we were doing that, Pingu has gotten Lapis. There was something there that also took a lot of math from a very smart individual called Matthew Bolin to be able to get Lapis. Yeah,
it's an interesting experiment in nominative determinism that Matthew Bolin had a lot of interesting math techniques that improved Minecraft speedrunning.
Can we get this guy out of my ear?
Anyways, what Matthew Bolin discovered, there's a good chance you might have seen a video of this for diamonds, but the same thing applies for lapis. There's clay patches that you can see in rivers, and because of the way that Minecraft's internal random generator works, it generates the lapis on a decently consistent offset to where the clay gets generated. So if you see a clay patch, you can go some number of blocks in the positive Z direction, and then if you dig straight down, you will find lapis. And this works most of the time.
Most, we're gonna have to give a lot of asterisks to most there. But like, yeah, and it's also one of those strategies where kind of as you get better at it, you can do it more reliably, because obviously there's a counting aspect, which is not like it's kind of a binary thing. Either you do it or you don't. But you can also do other tricks like digging around like 4 blocks around if you don't get lapis, that kind of thing, that can help you normalize out the strange situations that can occur with the strategy.
Yeah, at this point, both of our players are in the overworld. Pingu has finished enchanting, and Oxidiot is about to start. This is a, 26 minutes into the run. I would say this is a very good pace for a run.
It's solid. Yeah. I think something that's interesting about it is because, like, of course, these players haven't seen the seed before. Compared to a set seed speedrun of Minecraft All Advancements, this is quite slow. Like, I think normally we're here at, like, what, 10, 11, 12 minutes in an SSG run. And compared to, like, the runs that these players that we're watching are resetting for in AA RSG, this isn't even, like, this is fast. Like, it's world record pace, but it's also, like, it's not like super fast. Like, it's not like Doi Pingu would not be losing his mind right now, I think. It would be good, but
he's losing his mind
similar
for other reasons. The reasons starting
something
with
to do
the
with
letter D and ending with folder.
Something that rhymes with something folder. I was trying to think of something that rhymes with desktop folder, but I couldn't.
Boulder?
Desktop boulder?
Yeah.
All right.
Rest stop folder.
If you were a wrestler.
The better fish kill than the Thunderless record, so yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Thunderless record. Doi Pingu here, proud owner of the 2 hour and 2 minute Thunderless world record. Thunderless was something that I was talking about earlier before one of our commentators rudely cut me off.
Which one could that have been?
I was saying that Thunder is a very volatile thing in the run. You have no control over it. It's fully random, and you need it. And it can never happen. Like, there is a chance that it just never happens. Obviously, with our RNG mod, that is not the case, because that would be mean. But the Thunderless it's not a real category, but it is something that we as a community keep track of, because it's basically just as much of it's very close to a completion, and a Thunderless run just means you didn't have one RNG element. So the 202 Thunderless record is by Pingu. The actual world record is only 3 minutes slower. It's a 205. That's by Feinberg. Where was I going with this?
I'm not sure. Were we going to mention Thunder standardization? Is Thunder standardized? I don't actually know. This is not information I'm privy to.
It is. Okay. It is. Don't get mad at me. Relax.
Is this the same as Draft Thunder, or is it different?
It's.
Now I'm curious.
There will be a Thunder. There will be a Thunder at some point in the run, and it'll be exciting.
I'm a little concerned as to why Pingu is like killing the entire ocean right now.
Right. So fish kill. This is what we call fish kill. Fish kill is kind of the official start of what we were referring to earlier, the mid game. One of the big advancements is taming all the cats, a complete catalog. And to tame cats, you need fish. And so before we start flying around to all of our temples and all of our villages, we're going to stock up on fish so that we can tame the cats. It's a 1 in 3 chance to tame per fish, and there's 11 cat breeds. Doi Pingu here is a very lucky runner. He got a black cat. I don't know if Oxy will get the same black cat. I don't know.
Oh, is that not
standardized, right?
Well, they are, but I don't know where you.
Oxy has to come to the same village.
Yeah. I forget that there are cats in this game. I always forget all the different animals that you can tame at this point. I play this like so seldomly casually that it's nice to learn about all these things right here.
Yeah, the black cat is a little interesting because it can only spawn on one specific phase of the moon or in swamp huts. Swamp huts, they'll spawn there all the time, and it'll guaranteed be
almost all
cat,
of the time, but yes.
Unless there is a specific bug that is known to happen that if it happens, we'll talk about it, but we don't need to worry about it. Or they can spawn in villages if it is that phase of the moon. And that phase of the moon happens to coincide with the first 20 minutes, which is the first in-game day of the run. So when you load into a world at 0 minutes into the run, your spawn village is what we call it. That's the village that is at spawn. You can load that in, and one of those cats can be a black cat. And if that happens, that's nice because then you don't need to think about finding a swamp hut. But swamp hut is not like a super rare thing anyways.
Yeah. And so both of these players are basically going to get roughly enough fish that they're pretty confident that unless they get really unlucky, they'll be able to tame all 11 cat breeds. And then we're starting the mid game.
20.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Pac wouldn't give you a bad RNG seed. But yeah, so something we were talking about earlier that's kind of coming up now is we're starting the mid game. And something that's very well known about AA is that this is where runs start to diverge. Up until this point, everything is basically proven theory. Like you're not going to do something weird and wacky up until this point. Like sometimes, like yeah, there's certain situations that call for certain backloads. You do something later in the run, that kind of thing. 99% of the time, you want your good run to look exactly like this run has looked like for these two runners up until this point. You want to do your early game, you want to get your light share, you want to do your enchants, and then you want to do your fish kill. And fish kill is a time in the run where everything diverges. We have no idea what's going to happen. We don't know what direction these runners are going to go. They don't even necessarily know which direction they're going to go. They're going to be looking at the seeds thinking, hey, I think there's a good desert in this direction. I'm going to go check out this desert, try to get more temples, try to get more gunpowder so that I can fly further. Maybe they're going to see an ocean nearby and think, hey, I need to go back to that ocean later. Maybe the other one is going to think, hey, that ocean doesn't look very good. I'm going to look for one later in the run. It's completely subjective. Well, I mean, it's fairly subjective as things go in speed runs. You can definitely some players are much better at this. We call it the routing of the seed than others are. But it's a lot more fluid and a lot more flexible than the routing up until this point in the seed, which is still, of course, flexible because it's a random seed. You've never played it before. You don't know, do I run to the left in another? Do I run to the right in another? But those are much simpler decisions than what is going to go on for the rest of this run, basically. And it's very likely that we'll see these players' locations, their plays, the order of advancements they have, what they're doing start to diverge quite a bit as we get deeper and deeper into the mid game.
Yeah. I do appreciate a runner who. I was just say I do appreciate a runner who's like, when it comes to games with heavy RNG, especially when it comes to seeded runs like this, or just like roguelikes, the ability to be able to sight read a seed and to have it work to your favor is something that I absolutely admire in any sort of run. And part of the reason why I don't speedrun roguelikes or heavy RNG runs myself, but that it's definitely translates to here, I would say.
I think that is. I mean, the routing is the biggest skill of the category. Doing each individual piece quickly, of course, is nice, but there's one advancement that's difficult. Everything else is pretty easy to do on its own. But the routing, as we say, is the difficulty of the run. Figuring out a good way to get to all of the places that you need to go in an efficient manner and without backtracking. Backtracking is like it's
the cardinal sin of all advancements.
Yeah.
It's the cardinal sin of all advancements. Yeah.
Backtracking is, as it would sound, whenever you go back to somewhere where you already were. Because if you do that, you are doing two things. One, you are wasting time flying back to something that you could have done before. And two, you are not loading new chunks. Loading chunks is very important because you want to see as much terrain as you can because you need to find the rare biomes. We'll talk more about the rare biomes as they come up, but as the name implies, they are rare. They're not like plains and forests and desert where you can see them everywhere.
Which are also referred to as common biomes.
No one says that.
Oh, come on. We could have spread some serious misinformation.
I'm having a hard time believing you when you say that. It's commonly referred to as that. Just a little bit.
Look. It's fine.
There is 2 uncommon biomes, though.
That's true. Yeah.
The deep frozen ocean and the warm ocean. Hopefully that won't be a problem.
It's kind of ironic that we call them, we divide them into common, uncommon, rare biomes when in every all advancements completed run, you get all of them. So they're kind of all on equal footing there.
Well, here's the thing, and I know we talked about this in Oxy's first Hotfix run, but I want to say it again here. There's a lot of asterisks on these so-called all advancements, because even though you have to get all of the biomes, there's a lot of biomes that you don't actually have to get. Don't ask me. I didn't make the game. Trust me, we're grateful that you don't have to get Modified Jungle Edge.
If you made this game, you would for sure make the player get Modified Jungle Edge.
Well, good thing they removed that biome.
Game design.
We've discussed this before, but it is kind of incredible how all these little like minor decisions in Minecraft, like if these little things were slightly off, this category would just be unplayable. Like it's barely functional as it is. So people would still play it though. Because, speedrunners.
That's one way to put it.
This round is held up.
It's a miracle that this run is. It's a miracle that this run is just long enough to fit in an episode of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
That wasn't the case like 2 years ago, so.
Can we back up? Pingu just got a channeling book in this temple.
We're gonna find
in this temple at the coordinates -1.
So
Pingu, can you turn on your F3?
No. Okay, so channeling. I was talking about this earlier. Advancement for Thunder, called Very, Very Frightening. It requires you to have a trident enchanted with channeling and throw it at a villager while it is thundering. And then it will turn the villager into a witch, and that's the advancement. For this, you need 3 rare things to happen. 1, you need it to thunder. I've already talked about that. Unlikely. It doesn't happen a lot. Stupid RNG. 2, you need a trident. If you look at Oxy, we're flying through oceans. We're looking for drowns holding pointy sticks. We want the pointy stick. We need one. And then you need channeling. Channeling is annoying because it's kind of rare, and we don't have that many levels to enchant it. Like Oxy's down to 33 right now. So getting it is kind of inconsistent, and it's very annoying not to be able to get it. So getting a book that just has channeling on it is super, super nice.
Yeah.
And this is like one of those inflection points in the run that we were kind of discussing the possibility of earlier, where we were talking about RNG, and it's like, yes, a lot of the RNG is standardized. And I mean, to be fair, this temple that has this channeling book exists for Oxidiot too. It's in her seed somewhere. But there's such a thing as like brain RNG. It's not a skill issue. It's just you go in a different direction, you hit different temples. That's the way it is. And now it's possible Oxy could lose a fair amount of time trying to get a channeling enchantment on her trident as well. But hopefully she makes up the time in some other way. I can't think of anything actually. Maybe she finds the Mushroom Island faster.
That, actually.
You're hoping.
I have more channel points on Oxidiot, actually.
What? Okay.
Yeah, both of your commentators are biased against
get
you.
Get this guy out of here.
That's unfortunate. Ozmourn, we need you to cheer for Doi Pingu.
Of course. I will cheer for Doi this whole time. Of course.
Well, let's, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hearing y'all say, we need 3 rare things to happen in order to get this advancement is just made me thought of just like, are AA runners okay? Like, how many?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. Oh my goodness.
Like,
no, all advancements is like the saltiest category ever.
I would love to see like the live set of these runners where you see the amount of attempts they've had and the amount of attempts they've completed over these runs.
Oh, it's like insane.
It's concerning. It's very concerning.
You could fill a warm ocean with AA players' tears at this point. Like, it's a struggle, this category.
Fill a warm
It seems
ocean,
like it.
That is saying.
I was trying to think of like an all advancements. Like, come on, that wasn't that bad. That was okay.
Okay.
Are tears warm when you like start crying? I don't actually.
I think so.
I have no idea.
Well, they're warm once they fall into the ocean. I mean, that's just how it works, right? It's a much larger body of water, so.
True.
Something I want to point out right now, something that Doi Pingu is doing. So Doi Pingu, we already mentioned that Doi Pingu is the Thunderless world record holder, has been for some amount of time now. I don't actually remember when that happened. Within the last year, though. Sorry, what's that?
No.
Okay. Are you betrayed that I don't remember the date of your Thunderless world record?
Well, it's just funny. You say some amount of time. I don't know. It's like
within within the last 12 months, Doi Pingu got the all advancements Thunderless world record. Very impressive time. Now, you as a viewer, of course, don't know Doi Pingu. I mean, maybe you do. I don't. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm not you. I don't know. But something that Doi Pingu is quite known for within the all advancements community is being a very innovative player. This is not always rewarded in all advancements. In fact, it's very frequently not rewarded in all advancements. These little time saves of like a quarter second here, a quarter second there don't really sum up to like beating these massive time saves of being able to play the game for like 14 hours a day and get a better seed. Not saying that like this is a super RNG category or anything, but like it's just kind of the way it is. Now, the thing is that Doi Pingu is very well known for these little time saves. So he'll do like crazy things. His bullseye advancement, he'll use TNT, he'll use like, you know, the ice thing on your boots. I think
now
whatever.
We're onto
Crosswalker.
a button and trapdoor setup, but
yeah,
we'll get to that later.
Talk about
who knows? We'll see it. Yeah, he's well known for his temple strategies. I forget the name, but they're like really cool. And yeah, so lots and lots of stuff. And something, don't worry about it. So anyways,
what is this
something I wanted to point out is that for a while now, Doi Pingu has had his pearls on his hotbar. So when you come out of the end, you usually have some amount of pearls that you used to get to your elytra. You're going to have some leftover ender pearls. And at that point in the run, you're typically not at a point where you've killed an endermite yet. So an endermite is a mob that spawns 1 in 20 times when you throw an ender pearl. So it's got a 5% chance of spawning whenever you throw an ender pearl. And ender pearls are kind of annoying to get in the mid game of an all advancement seed. They're just like, you're not getting them in the game. So if you don't have an endermite and you don't have ender pearls, or you have ender pearls like in your shulker box that you've saved, it's going to be a while usually before you're going to throw all those ender pearls and get your endermite. Something Doi Pingu has been doing is that he's been keeping his ender pearls on his hotbar during the run and just throwing them whenever he gets a good opportunity. It takes some health from him, which is actually good. He wants to eat more food so that he can complete the all foods advancement. That's not actually all foods, but it's like most of the foods. But some foods are more all than others. It's just the way it is. But yeah, he's
some foods are more all than others is a wild statement.
It's the way it is, you know. It's the way it is in all advancements. Some advancements are more all than others.
Pingu,
yeah,
why did we punch that villager? What did he do?
Misclicked.
Oh, okay. I thought he did something mean to you. Okay.
Yeah, so just kind of a cool little overlap.
Dude.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
There's no farms in these villages. These villages are gonna starve. And also I need carrots.
Carrots. What a lovely vegetable that many AA runners eat regularly.
The village has no farms? How do they live?
It's
mitosis. I mean, they have food. I don't know how they got the food.
Well,
maybe they're like traveling like thieves or something. They go and rob other villages. They like fly in with their elytras and steal a bunch of wheat and then fly. Wait, hold on. That's us. Anyways.
We should talk more about... Oh, there on Pingu's screen for a moment there, I saw the snowy biome.
Oh.
We're flying away from it for now. There's a reason for that. In every rare biome, you have like a mental checklist of things you need to do. It changes for each biome, but every biome has a checklist. Mm-hmm. One of the items on the snowy checklist is to kill a stray. A stray is a variant of the skeleton, but it can only spawn in a snowy biome. And it has to spawn at nighttime because it requires access to the sky. So it can't spawn in a cave during the day. It has to spawn at night, which means you don't want to go to a snowy during the day. So what Pingu is doing is backloading. He's waiting to go to the snowy until it's nighttime, because otherwise we're just going to be sitting in the snowy waiting for it to spawn. So we're doing other things until we can go to the snowy.
Yeah. And as you say, you've got checklists for every biome. That includes both the rare biomes, the medium rare biomes, and the well done biomes. For example, this plains. You're looking in the plains. You know, you want to breed some chickens, get some food from the chickens. Kind of overlapping that while we're waiting here for the snowy nighttime cycle. Sorry, I'll admit.
No,
that was
fine.
all just for the bit. That was all for the bit.
The well done and the medium rare. How do you like your steak, Folder? I'm a medium rare guy. What are you?
I haven't had a steak in the last maybe in the last decade actually. So I don't know if I really am the right person to answer.
Are you a vegetarian?
No, I just
He's not.
I don't know. I don't really eat steak is just not appealing to me. I don't know where I would get one. Frankly, it seems expensive.
I'm also a medium rare guy. I think it's really good.
Okay. And speaking of medium rare, we're in a medium rare biome right now. This is, of course, the lukewarm ocean, which was connected to the warm ocean, which I guess is the real
medium rare ocean.
The tepid ocean, the
Oh, don't call it that. That's disgusting. Pingu is just bathing in it. Oh my goodness.
Tepid is a good word.
Wait, what?
We have a poll going on right now.
Yet or no?
No, I'm missing 3 cats.
Steak doneness poll? Oh my goodness. Hey, you didn't put a I don't eat steak in here. Like, what? I can't respond.
I don't. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
You don't need to respond, Folder. That's okay.
It's okay. The people don't want my thoughts on steak.
Not opinions.
I will say for anyone that is voting well done right now, I am judging you harshly internally, but that is just me and my opinion. It's fine.
Speaking of judging, actually, this is a good time to mention. Oh my goodness. And Pingu gets a complete catalog completed, so that's a pretty big early advancement.
I have the same luck.
I am too.
Nah, missing 3 is crazy. That's criminal.
Well, I'm missing 2 now, so.
So now you're back to lucky.
Now, if you're wondering, Ozmourn or dear viewer, how are these runners? Yeah, no, I messed up.
How are these
runners keeping track of all of the cats that they need? I mean, they need 11 cats. How are you going to remember that? I mean, you could remember it, but there's
honestly, I would have believed you if you just told me that they just knew.
They just know. Let's cut this off. They just know.
Yeah, they just know.
True.
Cool. So with that being said, Pingu is in a beautiful igloo. I don't know what happened here or why we're in a ravine.
He's setting up for Igloo Bullseye, I think, but he's being griefed by this incredible ravine. This is crazy.
So let's talk about the snowy checklist. One of the things that you do when you are in the snowy biome is Zombie Doctor. And the reason, so Zombie Doctor is you have to cure a zombie villager. You can give a zombie villager a golden apple while it has the weakness effect, and then it will start converting back to a regular villager. In a Let's Play or a survival world, you would do this because it gives you cheaper trades, much cheaper trades. We don't really care about that, but you do need to do it for the advancement. We did Arbalistic there. It's a beautiful Arbalistic setup.
I love Dwight Pingu so much. What an incredible player.
No other runner on the planet does that. Yeah, nobody else.
Nobody in their right mind would do that Arbalistic setup. But it's beautiful. Honestly, it's art, I think. I like the idea that, like, while you're... And I think something I like about Minecraft speedrunning is that you can kind of make artistic statements in your gameplay. You know what I mean? Because there's so much room for creativity. Of course, a lot of people will play just the same way that you see other people play.
Look at this bullseye setup.
Oh, yeah, let's watch this.
We place on a torch, a trapdoor, and a button, and then we're going to place a 1 arrow in the center, and then we're going to fly away, and bang, bullseye.
It's wonderful. Using the delay of the button and, of course, the delay of the redstone torch, which is a certain number of game ticks that I don't quite remember off the top of my head, to get delay for that arrow going down into the target block.
I want to talk about what the snowy split is.
I was going to, but then, again, one of our commentators rudely...
No, look, it was the bullseye. You can't talk about anything else when you're watching that bullseye. There's just something incredible to viewing it. So
anyway, snowy checklist. Zombie Doctor is what I was talking about. The reason you do this in a snowy is because you need a zombie villager. Zombie villagers are kind of annoying to get. You could obviously wait at the night and hope that one spawns, but that's not a very good strategy. Hope, my mom tells me often, hope is not a strategy. So we don't do that. We look for an igloo with a basement specifically, which will always have a zombie villager in it. And while it's converting, that conversion process takes 3 to 5 minutes, asterisk. We're not going to talk about it. We do a lot of other things, including we are breeding rabbits right now. We're waiting for the nightfall. The night starts at 50 minutes, so we're going to kill a stray very soon. We also did Arbalistic. We grow our beetroots. You need to eat beetroots. You need to make beetroot soup. What else do you do here, Pingu?
I think you got most of it. You do hired help, the goal, but I don't have enough iron for that.
Sometimes people will kill the wither here, but that requires a very specific ordering of the seed that's not super likely.
Yeah.
There's also So a lot of these miniature tasks that you need to do, like growing up the beetroots and breeding a single mob, we would refer to as MISC, miscellaneous things. And one of these big things is horse, donkey, and mule, which I think is probably like the most annoying breed that doesn't require a rare biome. You can see Pingu here has landed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault.
Well, I mean, I would call it like
I'm
medium rare at best, but yeah.
Can you drop this bit? Can we?
W bit. What do you mean?
W bit.
Plains is not medium rare, bro. Plains is not medium rare. This
is it well done? Like, what do you want it to be?
It's well done.
Is it medium well? Like, what do you want it?
Medium well. Wait, medium well. That's crazy. Is that a thing? I'm not a steak person, so if you told me that's a thing, I'd believe you.
Yeah, it's rare, medium, medium well, and then well done.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Right. I see a good chat question here that I'm going to answer, talking about Pingu typing in chat. So Pingu will sometimes type numbers into this chat, and that's because it's a very long speed run, and we're in a snowy biome. Snowy is cold, and when you're cold, it makes it hard to move your fingers. And obviously, we need to have good mouse movement and keyboard control. So we type into the chat to keep our fingers warm so that we can stay at the top of our game for the entire run.
Alternatively, you can head into this well-done biome, which is, pretty warm because it's been more cooked. But
that's also true. Very smart. Very smart.
I do like the reality that Doi Pingu just likes doing math on the side while he's waiting for something to happen during the run.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there is a reason. There is an actual
Rubik's Cube calculations, right? He's planning out Rubik's Cubes?
Yeah, Rubik's Cube.
Right. No, of course. That's one of the advancements, actually. No, the real reason is, as we said, routing is the biggest skill in the category, and backtracking is the cardinal sin of the category. So you need to know where you're going and where you've already been. What Pingu is typing in chat is his coordinate rounded to the nearest 1,000 of where he's been. So he writes -3 in chat. He'll put nothing if it's X, and I think he'll put Z if it's the Z coordinate, just to help him keep track of where he's been. And then he can scroll up in his chat later and see all of the coordinates, and then he'll be like, okay, I've already been this direction, let me go fly this other direction.
Yeah, and that's another one of those kind of like niche Doi Pingu strategies, except it's actually a good one because a lot of players just forget where they've been, like me. So yeah, you should do this if you're doing all advanced speedruns. It's a good idea. But of course, something that we were going to get to earlier that I think now might be a good time to get back to. We're talking about remembering things. What's going on in the run? Where have we been? That kind of thing. And of course, Pingu is making use of one utility, which is the chat box. But there's another utility that both of these players are almost certainly making use of that we can't see in the background, which is doing a lot more tracking for them. And you almost brought this up, Pac, earlier.
Oh, really?
Oxy is only 30 minutes behind in the run. That's good. That's good. No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, yeah.
Don't blow up your wolves.
I'm trying to imagine what could be going on the other screen.
Only good things.
Really. I don't know. I have 130 TNT and I still need 2 cats.
Wow, still need 2 cats. But how does Oxy know she still needs 2 cats? Now, of course, back in the old days, you would remember this. You would go into your brain and you would be inscribing it on like those little meaty folds of your brain cells.
There's an in-game advancement thing that tells you how many cats you have.
But it doesn't tell you
number.
Which one.
It doesn't tell you
which
the ones.
number.
Yes.
Yeah, if you press L in-game, unless you rebound it, it'll bring up the in-game advancements menu, and you can see it'll say like complete catalog 9 out of 11. Wow, that was a really good time for me to bring that up. But it'll tell you how many you have. But there is an external program, which, thank you, Folder, I was going to bring this up, called the Tracker.
We've been going towards this for the last like 10 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah. There is an external program, the Tracker, that well, it tracks things. It tracks everything that you could possibly want to remember. It shows you all of the advancements that you've done and haven't done. And more importantly, it shows you the 11 cats, for example, and which 9 you've already done and which 2 you're still missing, which is very useful. It does this for biomes as well. Each individual biome that you need to do, it'll have it on there. The tracker is a very, very useful tool. And there's another thing, which is Ninja Brain Bot, which is what we use to find the stronghold, but it also keeps track of where our end game structures are. Those are the monument and the outpost. We'll talk about those again later, but those are also...
It's worth noting that those are manual, so you do have to do an input in-game in order to get the Ninja Brain Bot to save those coordinates, whereas the tracker stuff is all automatic. So it's reading your statistics file, it's reading your advancements file, and so that way it can know if you've gotten certain things or not, because all of this is just stored in files in the game, essentially.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about... Oh, there's a jungle over there. That's beautiful. I know we also just flew through a Mega Taiga.
I haven't seen a single rare.
Well, we call it a skill issue, and, it's a race, and like I said, my money is on...
I think you pushed Desert a lot hard.
Wait, my money's on Oxidiot.
Your money's on Oxy, yeah.
Oxy, can you figure it out? I got money on you.
I'm trying. I'm sorry.
I mean, Pac, you have the seed.
This would be really helpful in the vanilla race.
How many advancements are there? There are 80 advancements. And currently, I don't know, where are we at, Pac? We're at maybe 40, 50 advancements? I honestly have no idea.
I'm at 38.
Wow, good guess. Good guess.
By that logic, we should be done in an hour, right? By that logic,
wow.
That's roughly how it's going to work. And don't let anybody disabuse you of that notion.
So actually, Ozmourn, I'm glad you said that. There is a subcategory that is called 0.5%. As the name implies, it requires you to get half of the advancements. Any 40 of the 80 that you want. Now, the RSGA world record is 2 hours and 5 minutes. How fast do you think the 0.5% world record is?
Logic would dictate that it's an hour, but I think it's more like 30 minutes or something.
Right. I think it's actually close to 20, if I remember correctly. I don't know.
20?
13 minutes. Yeah.
13 minutes?
Yeah, so the advancements do not scale linearly, is the point here. Getting half of the advancements does not mean we are halfway through the run, unfortunately. And that's because a lot of the advancements are just get this one item or do this one thing.
1341 says Justin in chat. That's wild.
By Big Mongi, yes.
Taking it from Mongi.
Shout out. Big shout out to the Big Mongi.
That does imply that there's a world out there where some all advancements runners spend 13 minutes on the first 40 and then an hour and a half on the last 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing the whole time, actually.
I mean, it's not too different. It's just there's a bunch of little things that you can overlap better in a full run that you just obviously aren't overlapping in a 13-minute run. You're just front-loading them as much as you can.
Point out, Big Mongi took the 0.5% world record from Doi Pingu.
Yeah.
We had a little back and forth battle where we would both play it for 1 day at a time.
And it's finally jungle time. So, as we were talking about this, rare biomes, we did snowy already. We also ran into a Mega Taiga. I was talking about checklists. The Mega Taiga checklist is get Mega Taiga biome and leave. The jungle checklist is more involved. Jungle is inverse of the snowy. If you're Oxidiot, you're kicking yourself because it's 59 minutes and it's about to turn day, so we're not going to get a stray unless we already did that and I missed it. Okay, beautiful. The jungle is the opposite. The jungle you want to hit at daytime. The reason for this is because one of the items on your checklist is ocelots. Ocelots are kind of weird.
Specifically, breeding 2 ocelots.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You need to breed 2 ocelots because you need to breed all of the mobs that can breed. Except not really. Anyways. The ocelot spawns...
Sorry, I don't know if this is intended jungle because I don't think I have bamboo.
Right. So when he says intended jungle, he means the one that I looked at the seed for. I will say to both of you, there is a bamboo jungle. Obviously, I'm not mean.
Yeah.
So ocelots. Ocelots are weird. They're a passive mob in the fact that they can't hurt you and they don't want to hurt you, which makes them like chickens or cows or sheep. However, internally, they are hostile mobs like creepers and zombies. And what this means is that they also have hostile mob spawning mechanics, which means they share the same mob cap. I don't want to get too detailed here, but if it's nighttime...
Mob cap is not too complicated. Essentially, mob cap, there's a limit on the number of hostile mobs that can spawn. Once you hit the number, which is 70, you don't spawn anymore. So
yeah. So if it's nighttime and you've got a bunch of creepers and skeletons, you're not going to get any more ocelot spawns. Or at least it's annoying to get more. So you want to find a jungle at daytime so that none of those exist, and then the only hostile mobs that are going to be spawning are ocelots. You'll see players sometimes fly straight up to try to refresh spawns. Flying straight up, what this does is hostile mobs will despawn the moment that they are 128 blocks away from the player. So if you fly straight up, 100 blocks above the ground, they all disappear, and then when you come back down, they can start spawning again, and you can get a fresh batch of hostile mobs, and hopefully some ocelots with them.
Yeah, I do have to ask, is now a good time for a wellness break that we typically do here on GDQ Hotfix?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. 1 hour, yes.
No worries. I can give a countdown when they can pause, if that's all right.
Pingu's already paused. Oh, okay, that's fine. Pingu's on pause. Pingu's on pause. No, Oxy's paused. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay. 3, 2, 1, pause.
Okay.
All right. We did it. All right, folks.
Oh, my goodness.
Typically...
Sorry,
everything all right?
Large bug on my monitor.
Oh, no. Well, that's good thing we're taking a wellness break right now. With that being said, folks, typically here on the GDQ Hotfix for longer runs, we like to take wellness breaks just so everyone can have a chance to get up and stretch. We'll be right back in just a bit of this race. We're going to take another wellness break at around the 2-hour mark. But get up, stretch, get some water, go to the bathroom. We will be right back. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Scenic Route. I hope y'all are enjoying this wonderful Minecraft All Advancements race with Doi Pingu and Oxidiot. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this show is all about glitchless and no major glitchless runs, or runs that just have naturally little to no glitches in them. And this is a episode that's all just Minecraft All Advancements. We've been having a wonderful time. I hope y'all have been too. And before we get into the rest of the run, I just want to say happy come in from the cold day that is a real holiday, and it is today. So please be safe with the cold. Come in, enjoy this wonderful cozy run of Minecraft All Advancements, especially if you're on the East Coast. So there's an ice storm coming our way this weekend, so please be safe coming from the cold. And so with that being said, I'm going to toss it right back over to Doi Pingu and Oxidiot with our commentators DesktopFolder and PacManMVC to take it away for the rest of this run. I'm really, really enjoying it and hope y'all are too. Take it away, y'all.
Okay, we're going to get the timer started again in 3, 2, 1, and go. So before we left off, we were talking about this jungle that Pingu saw, and what he said was, I think this jungle whiffed. And what we mean by that is not all jungles are created equal. The checklist requires a very specific jungle. Seeing a jungle is not good enough in most situations. There are 5 jungle biomes, and the bamboo biome is very rare within even a jungle. And you also need panda spawns. Panda spawns are different from the ocelot spawns. You cannot just go get more. Whatever pandas are there,
you can, but like you're never doing that in an all advancements run, so it's not relevant.
Yeah, whatever pandas are there is what you're stuck with. And if that number is less than 2, which a lot of the time it is, then you need to go fly somewhere else and go find another bamboo jungle. Now, obviously, because I am a nice person, there is a bamboo jungle somewhere, but it is not the one that Pingu found, which means he did the ocelots and then we left, and we're gonna go look for a bunch of other things now.
Yeah, we kind of spoke earlier about the despair of playing all advancements. Jungle is definitely one of those despair-causing features of the run. Every all advancements player knows from even like your first couple of runs in the category how annoying it is to come up to that jungle, to see it in the distance. You're like, finally, I can do my jungle. And then you get there and there's no bamboo. Or you get there and there's a bamboo and you spend 5 minutes and you can't find a single panda. And you're like, oh my goodness, there's no pandas. It's just a complete nightmare of a biome. Fortunately, I would say it does hit a decent percentage of the time. What do you think the percentage of chance of like a jungle hitting is?
I think it's between like a 1 in 4 and a 1 in 3 that your jungle is fully good.
Okay. I think like when I initially talked about it with other runners like years ago, well, maybe not years ago, but I guess if it's more than a year, it's years. But like in any case, the kind of like vibes feeling is like either it happens or it doesn't. It almost feels like a 50-50. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 1 in 4, which is not fun because there's a solid chance you don't find a jungle on your run at all ever, and you just reset the run with no jungles, maybe no mesa, maybe no snowy, and you feel like this like suffocating feeling of like, I did all of this work, I got this deep into the run, I spent an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how good you are at the run, depending on when you reset, and you couldn't do it, and the sea just didn't give it to you, and you sit there and you stare at your computer screen and you look at the reset button and you're like, man, and then you hit the reset button and you go next, right?
Let's take a deep breath.
Sorry, I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
So I think the point of this showcase race is to show people that this is a fun speed run.
Wait, sorry. Let me write that down real quick on like a Post-it note so I don't forget.
This is fun. You've never had any issues with A in your life.
In good news, it is called the Scenic Route, which means we're trying to, explore the world and take our time looking at things, So
moseying around doing my speed run. That's kind of the vibe we're going for.
Which that does lead to a question that I typically ask. This show is all about glitchless runs, NMG runs. What would a glitched run of AA look like?
So in Minecraft, there really aren't that many fun, super impactful glitches. There's a lot of glitches that really don't impact anything. The main glitch that you'll see in a glitched speedrun is a dupe glitch. which you're just duping items. There's several ways to dupe items, but it's very useful. You can dupe wood, you can dupe the obsidian, you can dupe pearls, which is mostly what you're gonna see. In all advancements, people don't really play all advancements glitched that often because so many of these RNG elements, like the biomes, for example, there's no glitch that's gonna corrupt the ocean into turning into a jungle. That doesn't exist. There's no glitch that's gonna make it start thundering. That doesn't exist. And because of that, there's time save in glitches. Duping items is always gonna save time. But the flying around bit, there's no instantaneous transportation glitch or anything like that. Which is a bit sad in my opinion, because I love a cool glitch as much as the next person.
There is time travel. I don't know if you mentioned that already though.
There is time travel,
which is kind of like instant travel, but not really. It's just really boring. So not really worth getting into. Somebody got was it a new Thunderless world record or was it a new world record? I thought there was a new glitch world record recently.
Yeah, Zeskio, maybe a couple of days ago. I've been
trying to find it in the Discord and I can't see it. But yeah, there was some kind of glitched world record recently in all advancements. But it's one of those things where it's so few people play it that every once in a while someone will be like, okay, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, here it is. On the
you get it done.
17th of January by Zeskio. The random seed glitched Thunderless world record, time of 2 hours and 7 minutes. Unfortunately, you will note that is slower than the glitchless run.
It's still good though. That's a good time. It used to be. It wasn't even for the longest time. It wasn't even sub 4, right?
Yeah, which is
it was something like 3 something. Yeah,
it's just that people play these categories less. You'll see this with co-op
orders of
runs.
magnitude less.
Yeah, you see this thing with co-op runs less too. Sometimes AA runners will get a little silly, and Doi Pingu will call up his good buddy Kush, and will say, "Hey, can we play duos?" And then they'll play duos for a day, and then they'll get a world record, and then they won't play it again for 6 months, and then it repeats. Also, shout out to Kush, who was watching with many of our friends.
Mm-hmm. And enemies too, but we don't need to.
And enemies, of course. Yeah. Yes, we have many enemies, Folder and I.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Too many to name.
I found 3 or 4 snowies.
Okay. That's good.
Too great.
Oh, never mind.
And Oxy finds a Mega Taiga immediately. You can recognize Mega Taiga because it's very big. You can see these tall trees in the distance. That's one of the 5 rare biomes.
Mega.
I would call this Mega, in my opinion.
Why didn't they
By the way, my anvil broke. I don't know if anyone noticed.
Wait, is that standardized pack?
No, I did not standardize anvil break.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about anvil for a moment. Anvils are used whenever you combine 2 tools or you put an enchanted book onto a tool or something like that. There's a random chance that it uses up a durability.
I got a trident.
Yay, we got a trident.
Goodness.
I can't put my channeling book on.
Because we don't have our anvil. That's lovely.
Incredible.
Let me use anvil real quick.
Anvils are also pretty expensive. It's 40 iron for an anvil? I can't do the math in my head.
It's 31.
It's 31, right. Look, I haven't played AA in a while, okay? It's 31 iron for an anvil, and iron is one of those things where if you play Minecraft casually, you're like, oh, 31 iron. Well, I'll just pop over to my iron farm. In AA, it's not quite like that. Pingu's going to start checking some of these shipwrecks, probably for iron, and you can collect iron pretty quickly that way, but it's still kind of annoying. You still have to go and find
No,
iron,
it's especially cooked because I needed more iron for an advancement called Hired Help, where you need 4 iron blocks to spawn a golem. So I was already getting iron for that, and then I need 31 more for another anvil.
So we need like a stack of iron almost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
In good news, though, Doi Pingu has the trident, as we talked about, and we have 8 shells. 8 shells is an important number. How did we get here? The advancement where you get all the effects, you need an effect called Conduit Power. Conduit Power is only acquired through a conduit, and to craft a conduit, you need 8 shells. Now, there's a couple ways to get shells, some better than others. For example, the best method of getting shells, you can fish in the ocean with a fishing rod, and there's a chance you'll pull up a shell. The second best method is wandering traders. Wandering traders will spawn, will attempt to spawn every 20 minutes. And then there's a 5 out of 68 chance that they will offer a shell trade.
How do you know that?
Because there's 68. No, is it 63? I think it's 63 because it's however, whatever, not important.
Is it a 5 though? Because it's like a choose one in any case.
It's like
whatever. And then there's the most boring way, which is drowns will have shells when you see them, and then you kill them and you steal their belongings, which is sad, but that's life.
The thing is, the issue is basically that like the first 2 strategies, which are way more cool, interesting, and fun, do require a lot of luck, which these players as AA players canonically don't have. So unfortunately, they're going for kind of like a boring route.
Canonically, Doi Pingu, canonically, Doi Pingu is an unlucky individual, and so is Oxidiot. So unfortunately, we couldn't get any of the lucky AA players on, like Feinberg and Infume.
Like Feinberg.
Yeah, Infume notoriously very lucky, but it's going to be okay.
I think that's partially like the idea, like the scenic route, right? We're kind of taking a chill. We're not going to be like super lucky. We're going to kind of just, we're going to fight, like the underdog. So that
anyways,
makes
so we got the rarest biome in the game here, the Mushroom Island, on Pingu's screen. So this is a very rare biome.
Well, the rarest rare biome. But that's not really
of course,
implying that there's like a rarer biome.
There are rare biomes that are not considered rare biomes, yes. But as we were discussing earlier, not all biomes are all biomes. Some all biomes are not all biomes, which means that we care about the all biomes in AA, which means we care about the rare biomes of the all biomes, not the rare biomes of the not all biomes. If that makes sense.
I wish I had
someone in chat writing this down.
That guy.
Oh yeah, that made so much sense. Thank you for that.
I understand so much more.
I understand it now.
I just love the sentence. This is the rarest of the rare biomes, implying that it's not necessarily rare, but it's like rarer than rare.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly
darker than dark.
Sure.
Something like that. Anyways, Mushroom Island. The Mushroom Island has 2 biomes, Mushroom Fields and Mushroom Field Shore. And you also get mushrooms on a mushroom island. It's the only place where they will spawn. And you need to breed mushrooms, of course. Now, we've done both of those things. There's also a couple of other useful things you can do. On a mushroom island...
Another snowy. Sorry.
That's okay. You can be excited. I like skiing. I'm a big skiing guy.
Excited.
Oh, this isn't even... I found a mushroom island that's outside of the filter.
Well...
Okay. That's...
You're only at 4K, aren't you?
Or maybe it's in the filter. Maybe it's like barely in the filter.
So when Oxy says
you're flying towards
the filter, that's what when I was trying to give them a seed to play, that's what I was looking for. So when I did this, I was looking for these so-called rare biomes within a 5K distance from 0, 0.
The allegedly rare biomes.
Yes.
Yeah, the allegedly rare biomes.
Not so rare after all, are you?
You're a quick learner, but yes, the allegedly rare biomes. So now both players have a mushroom island. Both players have gone to a snowy. Both players have gone to a mega taiga. So they still need jungles and mesa. Mesa is the only one that we haven't seen at all. Mesa, sometimes called Badlands, it's the same thing. They changed the name at some point because why not? But it's the rare version of the desert. It's got like red sand, and it looks pretty cool, honestly.
It's kind of a wonder that they call it Badlands when it's kind of like a pretty good land overall. Like I'd put it in the top 10. Easily.
I mean, it's bad land in the sense that like you can't live there, like you can't like plant crops.
But it's Minecraft, right? It's a game of infinite possibility.
Attitude.
You totally could build a house there.
Well,
it's true.
Much to think about.
You're right.
Much to think about.
Much to consider. Speaking of considering, you mind if I read out an announcement real quick?
Of course.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to remind folks about a event that's actually coming up in 2 weeks. Believe it or not, time passes. I love the passage of time. 2 weeks, we are going to have Back to Black 2026. Tune in February 5th through 8th for Back to Black 2026, a 4-day speedrun marathon featuring Black speedrunners benefiting Race Forward. Use ! scheduled in Twitch chat to check out the event, or visit gdq.gg/BAF to learn more. The folks over there at Black in the Flash have done amazing work, and Back to Black, the whole schedule is absolutely amazing. Y'all are going to love it. I absolutely love everyone that's worked on it and a lot of the runners that are participating in it. And so please check out and support Back to Black and donate some more money for Race Forward while you're watching. With that being said, as we go back here to the run, I do want to ask, how much of this seed have you, the commentators, kind of seen beforehand, vetted beforehand, and understand that like this is going to be a possible seed? And
right, that's a good question.
How detailed is your knowledge of this seed at the moment?
Okay, my knowledge is very different from DesktopFolder's knowledge. Folder,
I don't know anything at all. Well, I know the rules by which, like, I know what's necessary to exist on the seed, but I haven't seen this seed at all.
I could give you a very itemized list of everything specifically, but I'm just going to hit the highlights here, which is a playable any %, which means we have the temple at the very beginning of the run, the village at the beginning of the run, and a way to get into the nether. Then in the nether, there's a bastion and a fortress, and then in the end, there's an end city with a ship. And then in the overworld, we know that there is the 5 rare biomes that we're looking for. As for where they are, how far they are, how you get there, I do not care. I hope that answers your question. I don't know if you want more detail on something. I can provide if you'd like.
I mean, as much detail as you would like to give. I'm not going to ask more, only because I don't want things to be spoiled for the runners by any means. But
without spoiling anything, so okay, sure. The overworld, the temple, and the village. We want to make sure that the runners don't have to run too far. So I do have a distance limiter on those structures specifically. To make sure that we're not running like 1,000 blocks at the very beginning of the run, because that's just boring. We don't need to be doing that. So that exists. It exists for the nether as well. And there is some others loot in the beginning temple. So the enchanted golden apple, the surprise tool for later, I made sure that would be in the very first temple that we were going to get. Normally, an enchanted golden apple is about a 10% chance to show up in any given temple. We don't, like, Oxidiot right now has 2 enchanted golden apples, but that's not guaranteed. And depending on which temples you go to, you might not get one at all. So we wanted to make sure that both players have one from the beginning of the run, so they don't need to worry about it. That's one of the things we did. I do want to answer a very good chat question that we've been avoiding this entire time. But why do the runners need the gold? Every time we're in an ocean and we see a monument, you'll see the runners dive down into the monument and steal all the precious belongings of the drowned. Not the drowned, of the guardians. Folder, why do we steal?
Why do we steal just in general? Like, yeah. I can think of a lot of reasons. Greed, the rush, kind of, you know.
The rush?
Like the adrenaline, like it's crazy because like what if you get caught, like all that stuff. But of course, we're talking about Minecraft
gluttony.
Here. Gluttony.
We can list off the 7 sins
all
right
the
now.
Cardinal sins, yeah. No, but of course, in Minecraft and all advanced speedrunning, the main sin we care about is backtracking. So you're always making sure you're going through the seed, collecting resources. And one of those resources you're collecting are the gold blocks. And so, yeah, as you said, you were saying that we're collecting gold blocks for some purpose. And that purpose is the advancement Beaconator. Now, Beaconator, if you're familiar with Baconator, I'm not familiar. I don't know what that is. It's just a word.
That's actually an item from the Wendy's menu. It's a burger with 2 patties and bacon. Yeah.
See, I know that Baconator is a thing that exists, but I don't think I've ever had one or seen one or known what it is. So anyways, so Beaconator, of course, Minecraft advancements, a lot of them are kind of like punny. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of puns. I'm kind of anti these like cheap jokes, but whatever, it's fine. It's the way it is. But of course, Beaconator is one of those advancements. Lying, gluttony, thrill, anyways. And Beaconator requires that we make a full beacon. So a full beacon requires 2 stacks. That's 64 times 2, so 128 gold blocks plus another 36. You can do the math in your head if you want. I'm not going to.
164
right now. 164 gold blocks. Wow, that's incredible, Pac. You're so good at math. You're going to need 164 gold blocks. Well, 164 mineral blocks, rather, to make a full beacon. And once the beacon is fully powered, if you're standing right near it, you're going to get the Beaconator advancement. Now, of course, having a fully powered beacon is also useful because you can select 2 things in the beacon instead of just one. Beacons give you effects. They give like effects in a radius, essentially. And the effects that we're going to be getting later on in the run are going to be jump boost and haste. Not haste. It is haste. It is called haste.
Yes.
For some reason, never mind. Whatever. We won't get into this. Yes, you're going to get jump boost and haste. Now, haste is interesting. Don't worry about it. Haste is interesting because haste is the one thing that you need from the beacon. You don't actually need jump boost from the beacon. You can make a jump boost potion. And in fact, back in the olden days of all advancements, players used to make a jump boost potion. And then we realized that it was really slow and it was better to not do that. So we don't do it anymore. But you do need haste from a beacon. There's no other way to get haste. You can do haste with a tier 1 beacon. So you can totally play with just a tier 1 beacon, which only requires 9 gold blocks. But then you wouldn't get the Beaconator advancement. And then you'd only get 79 out of 80 advancements. And that's like, that's not like bad. It's not all the advancements, which is usually what we're going for here. So that's why we're getting the gold blocks.
While we were talking about that, both of the runners did find our mesa biome, I believe. No? Did you not? I swear I saw it on your screen.
I'm mad that Pingu got it.
Oh.
I was like, I saw it and I was like, yes.
Well, you found it first, if that makes you feel better. You found it first.
That's good.
Is your
Oxy,
mist
you've made
like
up a
all
30-minute
done,
time
Oxy?
box. You're
Like mostly. I just need like.
Okay, because I'm like basically entirely done.
which I think means that it's a pretty good time to talk about the next phase of the run.
Oh my goodness.
So we're not heading into a new phase of the run. So previously we talked about the idea that you have the early game, the mid game, and the end game in an all advancements run. And that is true. That's kind of the way that all advancements players think about the all advancements run routing in general. But we are going to be heading into a different part of the mid game. So when you play a seed linearly, it's different than playing it out of order. That's probably pretty obvious. And there's a lot of ordering you can do in the mid game, but there's kind of a linear way of doing it, which is usually that you go first into a desert. You get all the stuff you need for the run from the desert. So you get all your TNT, which we're going to need later. We'll talk about that later. You get all of your gunpowder, which you need for rockets so that you can fly. And then you leave the desert. Ideally, you don't really come back later on. Then you're going to go into the ocean. You get all the stuff you need in the ocean. That's where we've been for the last, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes of this run. I don't even know. We've been here for a while. And once you've got all the stuff you need from the ocean, you're going to go into the nether. So again, you don't have to do it in this order, and a lot of runs aren't done in this order, but this is a very good seed, and so the players are able to play it pretty linearly.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Did you find the jungle?
Yeah, we found the jungle. The bamboo jungle.
All right. Oxy stocks are back up.
Yeah, so Oxy is now winning because she's the better player, and that's why I have all my money on her and my house.
Yeah.
Oxy believers are cashing in right now.
This is like edge.
I think this is...
actually, I shouldn't say that. This is at 0-0. This is the
Yeah, I just found it. I pushed the corner because I figured that if it was in the corner, that would suck.
Doi Pingu has now also found the bamboo jungle. So now both players are tied.
Yes.
But I don't have to do ocelots.
And you both have...
Adventuring Tats pops up on Oxy's screen. So that's another one of those major advancements. Very exciting.
And as we saw there are pandas here. It's a beautiful... I think I counted there were 7 of them, which is a lot more than you normally get. Well, you know, they got to take a bath every once in a while.
Yeah. Of course, in Minecraft, pandas can't smell because there's no way to detect the scent of a mob, but they can see you, and sometimes they'll run away from you. That is true. So they smell you, which is why if you're going to go, breed your pandas, it's always good to take a quick shower before you do that. You don't want them sneezing over you and kind of getting you all gross and gelatinousy. So,
gelatinousy, is that a real word? There's no way that's a real word.
Speaking of gelatinousy, Pingu is going to head into the nether
What do you mean? Speaking of gelatinous-y, this is not.
Well, I was thinking
the
like
nether?
when he was in the portal, like you kind of have that nausea effect, which is kind of jiggly, which is kind of gelatinous.
Jiggly. Okay.
No,
Right.
you never thought.
Let's talk about the
before.
nether. What do we need to do in the nether?
That's
Please
a great
answer,
question,
Folder.
Pac.
Thank
So,
you.
of course, there's a couple things that you need to do in the nether. One of them is you need to get all of the biomes. Now, unlike in the overworld where we only need to get all of the biomes, in the nether we need to get all of the biomes. Fortunately, it's a lot easier to do this in the nether. There's only 4 biomes. They added
There's
3
5.
of them. There's 5? Is it void?
How do you not?
Are you talking about void? Or wait, are there actually 5?
Yeah,
Wait, hold
waste.
on.
Wastes, bro. Wastes.
Forgot about
No, wait. Didn't they add 3? Did they add 4?
Bro.
Yes.
Are you
Okay.
serious?
So anyways, like I said, you need to get all of the biomes in the nether, which means you need to get all 5 of the nether biomes. They added 4 of them in the nether update, and one of them always existed before. So of course you have like kind of the plain nether biome. Then you're going to go and get the other 4 biomes, and we're in one of them right now. And this is a really, really useful biome. It's the Soul Sand Valley. Now, Soul Sand Valley, notorious for being very annoying for casual Minecraft players. For all advancements players, this is where you want to see your fortress. Now, of course, we're in the fortress right now. That's what Doipingu is doing. He's killing wither skeletons to get wither skeleton skulls. Wither skeletons are a lot easier to find if the fortress is in a Soul Sand Valley, because it changes how the mob spawning works. We're not going to get into it because I'm definitely going to say something wrong, and Pac is going to laugh at me. The point is, if your fortress is in a Soul Sand Valley where you can see all these like soul sand blocks, that's what they're called, where you can see all these soul sand blocks, you're going to get a lot more wither skeletons. Your split here is going to be a lot faster. We're going to be able to kill a lot more wither skeletons, and of course there's a rare chance that you get this wither skeleton skull from the wither skeleton when you kill it, and yeah, that's very valuable.
Thank you for demonstrating that, Doipingu. So we have a 1 wither skeleton skull. How many do you need? Is it just the 1? I mean, he got the advancement for getting spooky, scary skeleton. Surely we're done now, right? Okay, Folder's muted, so I'm
That's a
gonna
great
answer
question. Sorry, I was answering a chat question, a very important one. But yes, we need 3 wither skeleton skulls because, of course, like humans, wither skeletons. What? Where was I going with
Where are
that?
you going with this?
Don't worry about it. Let's just completely divert from that. So there's a mob in the game called the Wither. Now, if you've played Minecraft, you probably know what the Wither is, but if you don't, basically it's one of the 3 boss mobs. 3 boss mobs, whatever. The point is, some of the mobs in Minecraft are not made equal, and the Ender Dragon is one of them, but another one is the Wither. And you need to kill a Wither in order to make a beacon, and you also need to kill a Wither to do the all mobs killed advancement. So we need to spawn one in, and to spawn one in, you need 3 Wither skeleton skulls. And I'm just going to leave it there. I think I'm going to stop talking for a second here and regain my thoughts.
That was a good explanation.
great.
I understood it perfectly.
Thank you. We did get there in the end. So
We did. Also, can I just be so real? I haven't played Minecraft casually in such a long time that I didn't even know that there were multiple nether biomes. I just thought it was the one. I'll be so honest.
So
these were
something that's
added
worth mentioning.
in...
Sorry, I go.
Oh, yeah, the new biomes were added in the 1.16 update, which is the major update that we're playing on. Playing on the minor update, 1.16.1. That one doesn't really matter that much. But all the biomes are added there. That's also when all of the bastion structures were added. You wanted to add something, Folder?
No, well, I did want to mention, I wanted to build basically on what you said there, which is that 1.16.1, as you're saying, this is the version where they added a lot of stuff to Nether. And if you're listening, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that like this stuff was added in this update, that makes sense. You probably don't immediately realize that like this is why we're playing on this version. The Nether is such a huge difference to Minecraft speedrunning that like the things they added in 1.16 are so incredibly powerful that basically everybody just plays on 1.16.1. Now, of course, there's people who play on other versions, like people play all versions of Minecraft. They play in, 121, they play in 1.7, 1.8, whatever. But like the vast majority of Minecraft speedruns are on this
there's weirdos
version.
that play 1.15. I think one of them is in the call with us right now. How'd the world record or something?
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Are there people who play 1.0 in the big 2.6?
1.0?
Not like
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't K4 get like a 1.0 record like
Well, that was
recently?
Kiefer was
2025.
Well, I mean, but we're only in 26 for 22 days. So
Oh, that's true. That's true.
that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, so basically there's a bunch of stuff. Like earlier we were in the Bastion. The Bastion is incredible. You can get pearls so much easier in a Bastion than you can in like any other way in any version. So yeah, just a lot of stuff going on that makes 1.16.1 essentially the best feeling version to speedrun Minecraft on. I don't know if it's necessarily the fastest version, like always. Like sometimes speedruns can be faster in other versions, but anyways. Yeah, let's go on. Let's talk about what Oxy's doing.
Yeah. Uneasy Alliance. Uneasy Alliance, in-game, it tells you to take a ghast to the overworld and kill it in the overworld. But the way the game checks for it is just that the player has killed a ghast while the player's in the overworld. So technically we can leave the ghast behind. We do some finagling with how the game is loaded by going through the portal a couple of times. It keeps the nether loaded while the player's in the overworld, which is usually not true. And that way the TNT can stay, and the TNT will then explode and kill the ghast while the player's in the overworld, giving us the Uneasy Alliance advancement. We used to build like a massive nether portal up on the roof, which is obviously slow and annoying. Uneasy Alliance is still annoying, but at least it's not slow anymore.
Incredibly slow. It was so unbelievably slow. And sometimes you get a trapped one and you try to put into a portal, but it was just like, it was disgusting. Something that I think is worth mentioning at this point, which I was going to mention earlier, but like I got kind of sidetracked and forgot about it. Ozmourn, you asked a long time ago about glitches, if there's useful glitches in Minecraft. Now, we of course answered like, yeah, you can duplicate items, so that's what you do in the glitched run. Now, some people would say that RSG Minecraft speedruns should actually be called random seed no major glitches, and Reverse Uneasy is kind of an example of that. Not really, but it's like, it's one of those things where like, yeah, the game is programmed that it works this way, so it's not wrong that you do it that way, but it's clearly unintended that you can kill the ghast while you're in the overworld and get the advancement. But like, there's a lot of stuff like that in Minecraft where you're kind of like, well, it just works this way. The Shulker Yeet is another good example where we were like flying the Shulker in the boat. Like that was not programmed to work that way, but because it's considered to be like an intent, like not an intended consequence, but it's a consequence of intended behavior. So it's an exploit. Yeah, it's not a glitch, it's an exploit, but that's kind of like, it's one of those lines where you're kind of like, well, I mean, technically, like, the way that item duplication works is also an exploit. It's a blurry line, and it's mostly vibes. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, it's mostly vibes.
I mean, if we're being so real, the whole concept of a glitch is like a very arbitrary thing anyway. So like we could go on for hours and hours about what a glitch really is, you know, but each community defines it differently, which I enjoy.
Yeah. And there's been discussions about all of this stuff in the Minecraft speedrunning community over time, and it varies, and different people have different opinions. But yeah, I think things are pretty set at this point on.
Oh my god!
Wait,
we can summon the golem, and the golem will kill the piglins.
That would be great if the golem could get down to them. But yeah.
Anyways, this bastion here, the one that Doi Pingu is in, this is called a bridge bastion. It has a beautiful little chalice here with 16 golden blocks, which is useful. 16 gold blocks is the equivalent of 2 monuments. Every monument has 8 gold blocks, which is good. But it's also good because it has a guaranteed lodestone. A lodestone requires a netherite ingot to craft, which is very expensive. We need a lodestone for Country Lode Take Me Home, which I think is also the longest advancement name. But anyways.
It's definitely up there, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you need a lodestone, but mining for netherite is slow and RNG heavy, and we don't like doing it. So if we can minimize the amount of netherite that we have to mine for at the end of the run, we are very happy. And finding a bridge and getting that lodestone is basically a free netherite ingot, which is very nice to have.
Which is 1 in 7 of the required netherite. I'm doing the math in my head, but I've been really failing at that tonight.
7?
Is it 1 in 6? It's 1 in 6. Yeah, it's 1 in 6. Okay, anyways.
It's okay.
Getting back to the run.
Yeah. Something else that we did
is currently in the nether enchanting. So what's up with that? We were talking about this earlier.
So we talked about channeling earlier, and Doi Pingu, of course, being the more skilled runner, was able to find a channeling book in a temple. Oxidiot was not able to use this skill to her advantage, so she has to enchant for it, which is not working very well, I think.
No.
and we are now down to 22 levels. So the way enchanting works is pretty complex, but I know that channeling, for example, the very lowest level that it can show up at is level 21 on the enchanting table. It's not worth. And
Why is he running away?
Oh no.
When we check the table, what we do is we use bookshelves to bring it up to level 30, which is the most power that a enchanting table can have, and then we will place a string or some other kind of block to block a bookshelf, and it'll take it down from 30 to 28 to 26 to 24 to 22, and we'll check at each of these levels and we'll see if channeling decides to show up. Which it didn't.
And the reason string is usually used is because you can instantly break it to reset your status.
Exactly. But yeah, we didn't get channeling, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get our wither skeletons. This is.
Do we not? Is channeling showing on table Oxy, or is it just not?
Yeah, I need 26.
Okay.
Okay.
So Oxy knows that she needs 26 levels to enchant the trident with channeling, and this is the easiest way to get a bunch of levels that like you need to do anyways. We need to kill these wither skeletons. They drop a lot of XP, so we're gonna get the levels pretty quickly here, and then we're gonna go enchant the trident.
Yeah. It's actually very useful that the enchanting table keeps its current enchantment stored. Otherwise, it'd be very annoying.
It's like an attribute of the player, I think, right?
It is. The current XP seed of the player is stored. Which, I guess we never talked about this, but at the very beginning of the run, when you create a world, the current XP seed of the player is always set to 0 instead of some random number, which means that the first enchantment that you get on any world is always consistent, which is very useful. For example, on a trident, the first enchant, as we call them, is channeling. So if the very first item, this is at level 30, of course, if the very first thing that you enchant is a trident at level 30, you are guaranteed to get channeling, which is very useful. But most of the time, the most used first enchant is going to be a looting 2 on a diamond sword. There's also looting 3 on an iron sword, and there's a bunch of other useful first enchants to know. But it's a very good mechanic. I guess we glossed over that. So the run is just so fast because these runners are so good.
Well, and there's a lot going on as well. All advancements is kind of a very heady category. There's not like, it's not very linear. You don't really know what's going on a lot of the time, so it's hard to keep track.
Oxy, how much gold do you have?
Not a lot. I still need like a stack.
Over there.
I got like a stack from all of the overworld, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
So part of the reason why Pingu would be saying the gold is low is because generally speaking, you're going to do a certain amount of ocean, right? To get to this point in the run. You don't need to get your gold blocks from ocean, but you do need to get your trident and your shells from the ocean. Now, of course, Pingu already Pingu, do you have 8 shells actually before
yes, he does. He has a conduit.
Yeah. So yeah, Pingu already has 8 shells. He's got enough for conduit, which we're going to need later on in the seed. So he's done with the overworld. And at that point, you kind of expect that once you've spent enough time in the ocean to get all 8 shells, especially considering how long we had to spend in the ocean getting that trident, you kind of expect that at that point, you would have already had a certain amount of gold blocks. Usually, like I would say like a stack and a half, maybe, Pingu. I don't know if you would agree with that. But something like that seems pretty normal. But we only got a stack. So there just weren't a ton of monuments in the ocean. Not something that was checked for on the seed, I would assume. Like monument density, that's not really necessarily something you would be checking for. So, oh yeah, the lava housing.
So yeah, Oxy is now, we're enchanting. There's the channeling. And now both players are able to hit thunder whenever it were to start thundering. And I'm not saying that because it's thundering, because I'm not going to give any spoilers to Doi Pingu, but it is definitely thundering.
That would be
now.
really important. Yeah, that would be really important information to give away to Pingu, who's in the Nether. And so the thing is that while you're in the Nether, you can figure out if it's raining, but you can't really figure out if it's thundering. There's no way for you to know. So generally speaking, yes. In fact, do you want to explain this?
Oh, I'm glad that you bring up the thing and then I have to explain it. Thanks.
Yeah, you have to explain it because it's very complicated.
Yeah. So basically, there's no actual way to know, but because when it rains, the sky darkens, and just some bug
It also
that
darkens the
darkening
nether.
gradient. It also affects the nether. So if you you can tell, like an experienced
You can kind
player
of see right
tell
now
in the
back,
nether
yeah.
that there is what we call like nether rain fog. Like you can tell that this is darkened from what it normally is.
Yeah. Especially on lower RD, I think it's more obvious, but it's just kind of like it feels like the farther away chunks are getting eaten at and like consumed more by the distance. I don't really know.
No, I get what you're saying though. That's really interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
It's actually very annoying because generally speaking, you have to go into the overworld to check for thunder anyways. Like it's just the way it is. But something that a lot of players will do is something called nether bees. So you can put your bees in the nether, and in the nether, it's always daytime. So you need your bees to work, and bees only work during the day. So you can put your bees in the nether, you can chunk load the nether, and then your bees will work even if it's nighttime in the overworld or that sort of thing. But the rain, if it's raining in the nether, that prevents your bees from working while they're in the nether, even though it's not actually raining. But the game thinks it's raining and the bees won't work. So there's been a lot of development on that in the last year, actually. Just kind of like a weird niche situation that happens more frequently than you would really expect.
And thankfully, Doi Pingu, maybe due to our help, maybe not, has also found his way back to the overworld and has able to get the very, very frightening advancement. So both players are done with Thunder now. This is one...
That's actually what it says on the tracker, done with Thunder.
Yeah, which we can't see, but true.
We can't see it, but you can just pretend. Envision the words done with Thunder, because when you see those as an AA player, it feels really, really good. You've passed like the most annoying RNG check of the entire game. So...
Yeah. This is one of the things that the RNG standardization of the mod does do. You'll notice that the rain started at, well, I guess we didn't notice because Pingu was in the nether, but the rain starts at the same time for each other, and same with the thunder. That doesn't normally happen. Thunder and rain, weather, is not something that's tied to the seed. So if you open up the world 10 times, the thunder will happen at different times. But what do we have left, guys?
That's
a great question.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I still need a lot of
I still need a
gold.
lot of gold.
Yeah.
Sensing a common theme here.
Yeah.
But yes.
I think this is maybe like a good like follow-up thing to what you were asking earlier, Ozmourn, about like how much Pac checked the seeds for specifically.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, Pac, you're checking for things that are necessary for the run. So you're checking for the structures that have to be there. You need the fortress, you need the bastion, you need the stronghold to be like, to have like libraries, that kind of thing. It's not playable if you don't have that. But the seed is playable if you don't have like 15 monuments close to spawn, that kind of thing. So that's the sort of thing that like Pac was not checking for. We don't know how many monuments there are. Generally speaking, if you see a big ocean, it's probably good enough.
Oh my God.
In this seed, it just wasn't as good. It's the way it is. But yeah, definitely not checking for that kind of seed quality thing. And that's the sort of thing where like, again, this is a seed that Pac hand picked for these players to play. And it's good, but it's not like it's necessarily a world record seed.
Oh, Thunder Phantoms, yes. Yay.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Yay. Okay, can we talk about Thunder Phantoms? I'm going to talk about Thunder Phantoms.
Talk about Thunder
Phantoms are super, super annoying. If I could curse on the stream, then this is the time where I would do it, but I can't. But anyways, Phantoms are annoying. Oh. So, Phantoms have this stupid... I'm like clenching my fists right now. Stupid spawning mechanic where they can only start to spawn after the player has not slept for 1 hour. And not sleeping also includes not dying, because of course it does. So Phantoms can't spawn before 1 hour. And if you were to ever look at a tool-assisted speedrun, I'm not promoting myself here. I don't.
Pac has a fantastic task of Minecraft all advancements that you should totally watch. You can find it if you search for all advancements tasks.
Yes, I have made a task.
I'm going to go watch that immediately after this episode's over.
It's really good. And you should also watch VD Pineapples. VD Pineapples task is really, really awesome.
So. In the task, the first 25 minutes is doing all of the advancements. And the next half hour is waiting for it to hit 1 hour so that Phantoms can spawn. It's great. But it's annoying in speedruns because it means Phantoms are kind of annoying in a 2 hour run. Phantoms can only spawn at night. So they only have 3 nights to spawn. And you have to get them. And Pingu this is very unlucky. Pingu, the thunder ended, and technically during the daytime, if it's thundering, mobs can spawn, which is why it's thunder phantoms. Normally phantoms only spawn at nighttime, but it was thundering, so we got thunder phantoms. But then the thunder stopped, and then it was daytime again, and then they burned to death, which is very unfortunate.
Shout out to our producer, Richard. If you want to go watch the tasks, Richard has put it in the chat here.
Yippee.
You can watch it.
But yeah, phantoms are annoying. You need phantoms for a few things. Obviously, you have to kill every mob, as we've been talking about. Phantoms are one of them. There is a phantom-specific advancement called 2 birds, 1 arrow, where you need a piercing crossbow, and you have to kill 2 phantoms with the same arrow shot. The setup that we do for them, you saw Pingu do it. You'll see it again later. You put 2 phantoms in a boat, we pre-damage them, and then we shoot the arrow. Now, the pre-damage, unfortunately, because it turned daytime, made it so that they burned up and died immediately. And the last thing that you need phantoms for is Phantom Membrane, which is an item that you can only get from phantoms, which is a lie. You can also get it from cats sometimes, but you can only get it from phantoms. And you can use it to brew a slow-falling potion. And slow falling, because it is an effect, is needed for How Did We Get Here, which is where you need to get all of the effects, except you don't need to get all of the effects. But
you need to get all of the effects, not all of the effects. Yeah.
Have we mentioned that there's asterisks?
Some effects are more all effects than other effects.
Exactly. You've completely... I don't even need to be here anymore, frankly. I'm going to go to bed.
I understand. I'm an understander now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably, honestly... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to ask, what are y'all thinking about these runners and their routes now that we're heading into what will be the 3rd hour so far soon?
Yeah, so, I mean, both runners have said we still need gold. And because we're done with the ocean, on a pure, like, gold per minute timer, getting gold from bastions is faster. So we're going to be staying in the Nether to be getting the rest of our gold blocks. It is just the fastest way to do it, and there's no
It's more
reason...
consistent, as I think, like, a pretty big part of it as well, because you can scan for bastions. You can't scan for monuments, but you can use the E counter in your F3 menu, which we didn't ever talk about, but Pingu is basically scanning for bastions. We're able to find them a lot easier than monuments.
Yeah. Other thing is what I was just talking about with phantoms is you have to manage your day and night cycles very well. We talked about you want to be in a snowy at night, you want to be in a jungle in the day, and you also want to be in the overworld at nighttime for phantom spawns. So right now 147 is part of the day. So the nighttime is 1:30 to 1:40, and then it'll start again at 1:50 to 2 hours. Those are the nighttime. So in between those, we can be in the Nether, and we're not missing any phantom spawns. And after we're done with our gold, we are going to make use of all of the TNT that we've been gathering. Why are we gathering TNT?
That's a great question, Pac. Why are we gathering TNT? Now, of course, part of the reason we were gathering TNT was because Oxy was just kind of struggling with the desert biome. But of course, we want as much TNT as we possibly can. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
I was struggling with the desert biome.
It took you forever to get cats. That's what he means.
We were struggling getting cats. I didn't actually remember the reason why we were in the desert for so long. So I kind of just like left it off there in the hopes that you would fill in the details. But we were struggling to get cats, and we got a lot of TNT, but we want a lot of TNT. It's fantastic to have TNT, because one of the things that we need, as we already mentioned previously, is we need debris. And debris is one of those things that's just really irritating to get. It's another one of those RNG checks. We talked about this with a lot of other things. You could go 0 for like 200 on skulls. You can just never find gold blocks because you can't find any monuments. There's a lot of RNG checks like that, and one of those big ones is debris. Debris is an ore, but unlike most of the ores in the game, it spawns exclusively in the Nether. And generally speaking, you're only going to find it at low Y levels in the Nether, and it has to be buried, except for when it isn't buried, but we don't need to worry about that. But generally speaking, it's always going to be buried, so you have to dig to get it. So something that you see a lot of casual players do is you'll go down to like Y15 in the Nether, you know, way underground, there's like lava lakes and stuff, it's really annoying, and you're just going to dig in a straight line and try to find debris. Now, of course, that's slow. We don't want to do things that are slow. As much as AA players love time loss, we don't love time loss that much. So we're going to try and do something faster. And the thing that we do faster is we blow up a lot of blocks with TNT deep underground in the nether. And that's what we're going to see pretty soon from these players, hopefully, unless they like intentionally do it later just to mess with me. But we're going to see the players basically digging a straight line for as long as they can, usually like 100, 200, 300 blocks deep down in the nether. Then they're going to run back through it, igniting TNT as they go. And then they're going to run back through it again, looking for the debris veins, perhaps. Goodness, I don't know why I said it like that. Debris veins that are going to be exposed by the TNT blowing up. Of course, netherrack has a very low blast resistance, so blowing up TNT is pretty efficient. Some people, especially casual players, will do this with beds, but it's simply a lot faster to do with TNT because you can just run and ignite them as you're going. But yeah, Pingu is going to check this treasure bastion. Treasure bastions do have a chance to have netherite in their bottom chest, and we do get one netherite ore, a debris rather, at the bottom, which gets us the hidden in the depths advancement.
But we need how many of these do 19. We need? Boulder.
Sorry, I finished my sentence before you even asked your question. But yeah, we need another 19. So in theory, in total, you need 24 of them. For each one, you need 4 debris to make one netherite. Netherite, goodness. Why does every single thing start with nether? It's really killing me. No, it's fine. Okay. you need 4 debris to make one netherite ingot, and you need 6 netherite ingot within the seed. But because we already got a bridge bastion, which gave us the lodestone, which is one of those netherite ingots, we don't need that one. So we only need 20 debris to make our 5 netherite ingots. That's a little bit clearer. And of course, we've already got one of those. So Joy Pingu will need to find 19 more debris to get out of the nether and get into the overworld to do the endgame.
When we get what Pingu is going through the nether right now is like concerning me. It's like frightening me how fast Pingu is going through the nether right now.
Yeah, you get pretty used to this in AA. You're kind of just like flying. You fly a lot in the nether. Sometimes you die, especially when you're newer to the category. But over time, you get pretty used to the speed at which you need to go.
New players and players named DesktopFolder will die a lot flying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's honestly, it's really fun to fly. I don't know if you've ever played those, like, what is it? There's like one very famous adventure map where you like fly with an elytra.
I have the song in my there's a specific song from it too. It's killing me.
I'm sure someone in chat knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the elytra maps. Oh my goodness, that one's so good too. What is that elytra map? Hold on.
I have no idea. But anyways, while you find that, I'm going to answer a chat question here, which is, how are we finding the gold in the bastion? And like we touched on for a little bit, there are 4. What's the name of it?
It's Terra Swoop Force.
Yes, Terra Swoop Force. Oh my god, I love Terra Swoop
That's like such a cool map because they like made custom music just for the map, and it's like they're bops. The custom music they made for this Minecraft map are incredible. It's a fantastic map, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. Speaking of the topic, what is the topic?
Yeah. So the topic was how do we find the gold in the bastions? So there's 4 different bastion variants. They are bridge, treasure, housing, and stables. And in any of them, there are consistent locations where gold blocks can spawn. For some of them, like Bridge, that chalice, the 16 gold blocks are always there. And for other ones, such as the stables and the treasure bastion, they have a chance to spawn. But for all except for stables, you are guaranteed at least some number of gold blocks. They're reliable enough. And it doesn't take too long to learn where all the locations are. I believe learning gold block locations is probably a day 1 activity if you are.
Yeah, if you're not
trying to. Well,
I'm very interested in why Oxy just like took a hoglin into the overworld and then back into the.
Yes, Folder, please explain.
Yeah, so you need a variety of monsters hunted to get the monsters hunted advancement. And one of those monsters hunted is the zombified hoglin. What are they called? Is there is that the name?
Nope. Yep, you got it.
For some reason, that sounds wrong. Yes, okay. Zombified Hoglin. And to zombify Hoglin, there's no zombified there's zombified piglins in the Nether, but there's no zombified Hoglins. And so the way to get a zombified Hoglin is to bring it into the overworld. So something you'll see players doing at some point during the run, like we saw Oxy doing, is you bring a Hoglin into the overworld, and then you wait for it to transition into a zombified Hoglin. And at that point, you can kill it, and then you get another monster, essentially.
I see. That makes sense. I really like that.
And then I want to bring the attention back over to Pingu. So Pingu's back in the overworld, and this is where we reach the final part of the run, the end game. All of this is going to be set up for the big advancement. How did we get here? We'll go through each of these one by one. The first thing I want to talk about is this nether portal and this redstone contraption that he's built. We talked about this, I think Folder talked about this a little bit, with the bees. We put the bees in the nether, and we make a chunk loader in the overworld. And whenever we're in the overworld now, the bees in the nether are going to be loaded. And since bees in the nether work even at night, because they don't have labor laws in the nether, we're going to be able to get our honey much faster.
Other things hell we do, after all, so...
Yeah, that's true. Other things we do in the end game, we've built our beacon, that max beacon. That's what we got all of the gold blocks for. And we are brewing a bunch of potions. There's going to be 8 potions in total that we're going to brew. I don't want to list them all, but there's 8 potions. The beacon's going to give us 2 effects. The conduit's going to give us an effect. And we're going to go...
The enchanted golden apple is going to give us more effects. A wither rose is going to give us more effects. Combining all of those things will allow us to get how do we get here.
It's really quite a sight.
What is this strat that Oxy is doing right now where like she lights herself on fire and then goes through a bunch of TNT to explode things?
lighting
yourself on fire is kind of an aura thing. It's kind of an aura thing. So Oxy likes to do, like, some players are kind of not super flashy players, but Oxy's one of those flashier players, and it's just cooler if you're on fire as you're like running through the through the TNT, lighting it up.
I was just like, did she accidentally like die? Is she about to die? And then she just runs through a bunch of TNT, and I'm just like, what are you doing right now?
Our players would never die. I actually instructed them multiple times to not die during this run because that would be very bad. Thankfully, they listened to me. Thank you, both of you.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up earlier, that like once we get the elytra, like I can stop panicking, because up until that point, if they died, all bets are off. Like, who knows what's even going to happen anymore. Fortunately, they both made it to the elytra, but man, I was very nervous in the early game of this run, especially with what was happening to Pingu. Goodness.
Yeah, Oxy is finishing up on our debris split here. We've got 11 mined already. There's 3 more here. The
debris isn't standardized, right?
It is.
Oh, it is standardized?
Yeah, I'm the goat.
Okay.
It's true.
We'll have to talk about debris standardization later, perhaps.
No, it's okay. I don't think we have the time, unfortunately.
It's beautiful.
Let's talk about more end game stuff. I mean, okay, so we have the gold blocks here.
But first, before you go into another spiel, I think now would be a good time to do our second wellness break, since we're hitting pretty much the 2-hour mark right here. Runners can pause their games in 3,
give me a second.
2, 1, go.
This is an
interesting spot to pause.
It's fine.
Pingu, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this wither setup? Why are you doing this to me?
Because I need phantoms.
Oh, right. So you can't do underground. That's funny.
All right. There again, we are in another wellness break here, folks. Don't worry. This is the last wellness break of the night. We just want to do one every hour with a longer run like this. And so, with that being said, we will be right back for the home stretch of this Minecraft All Advancements race. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello again, everyone. My name is Ozmourn. We are back here with the last hour of this episode of The Scenic Route. I'm so happy to be here with two amazingly talented runners and two amazingly talented commentators as we are heading into the home stretch of this All Advancements race. Before I begin, I just wanted to let everyone know, if you want to appear on GDQ Hotfix yourself, we are accepting submissions. We're always accepting submissions. And if you've got a run that you'd love to showcase on the channel, send it our way at gdq.gg/submit/hotfix. All of us do look at those, and we absolutely love all the runs that people submit to these things. And so please type !submit in chat for more details. With that being said, I'm very glad to be here, and I just want to wish, of course, everyone the final holiday here, the National Southern Food Day. As a person who lives in the South myself, we have a lot of really good food, and so you should try it. I promise you it's great. But now that bit's out of the way, we're going to go right back to the home stretch of Minecraft All Advancements Random Seed Glitchless 1.16 by Doi Pingu and Oxidiot with DesktopFolder and PacManMVC on commentary. So y'all, take it away.
Thank you. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're going.
Yeah, we were interrupted here by phantoms right as we paused. So, of course, Doi Pingu skillfully burned his phantoms early in the run. Thankfully, we've got more.
Just like Oxidiot skillfully burning herself in this debris split, Doi Pingu also goes for aura plays sometimes. So
you're so true. So one of the things about phantoms is you need to be above ground. You need to have sky access to be able to spawn them. And we kill the Wither underground. So Pingu was going to do an above ground Wither setup, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to do that anymore because we don't need the phantoms anymore. We're also able to sleep now because we got the phantoms. Can't sleep before you get them, otherwise you reset the timer.
Also, notably, you can't die before you get phantoms because dying also resets the timer. And I know we had a couple questions in chat earlier. What happens if the players die? It's horrible. It's awful. It's completely terrible. It would be so over. You don't even know how over it is. Look up the definition of over and you see dying in an AAA speedrun. Yeah. At this point,
you
however,
see a
Doi
GIF
Pingu
of
could
wide
die.
desktop folder debris fail.
Yes, wide desktop folder debris fail. Look it up. Great GIF. And yeah, you reset that run. Okay. That's just the way.
Here's the Wither. So on Pingu's screen, you've got the Wither, and we've actually got a fish captive. The fish is going to experience no pain during this process, is what I'm going to say. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we're going to go with. You need a Wither Rose to get the Wither effect. That's not true, but it's a consistent and easy way to get it. So we use the Wither Rose in the How Did We Get Here setup, which means we sacrifice our salmon to the Wither Overlord before promptly cutting it to pieces. Now we've got
basically
another star.
When the Wither kills mobs, it spawns a Wither Rose where they die. So that's how we go.
Yes. Listen, I don't know how I expected that we were going to kill the Wither, but I didn't expect it to be underground 1v1 hand-to-hand combat, face-to-face, like that close to each other.
Yeah,
we used to summon them above ground and let them fly around and shoot them with a bow until we realized that was really stupid, and then we stopped doing it.
Yes, it took a little bit of convincing. Somebody might have even made a comparison video showing how much slower that was, but yeah, it took a little bit of doing, but we finally got the full community to underground Wither. I don't think anybody does above ground Wither anymore.
Yeah, and then here is our. I guess we would call. I think this is probably the glitchiest glitch that we do in this run, which is not a major glitch, which is not a breaker of the scenic route mantra.
It's like a well done glitch, you could say, rather than like medium rare.
The way the beacon works is very weird, and you're not supposed to be able to get jump boost and haste at the same time. But if you click on the buttons in the right order, it lets you get both of them, and we abuse that fact. We also have a cow in the nether, which is great. I'm sure that piglins get very hungry because they live on a diet of only pork, you know. And as we've talked about well done glitches before. I don't know if you do well done on a pork chop, but you need some steak, you know?
Well, I mean, like, they're just not getting vegetables. And although that seems to work for a lot of all advancements players, for actual humans, I think that's like pretty bad for your diet.
Ooh, I do want to talk about this. So
you're gonna get kidney stones like real fast if you keep doing that.
I want to talk about this debris. So as we noticed, Pingu did his endgame setup and then is now doing debris, while Oxidiot is doing things the other way around. She did debris first and is now doing the endgame setup. Pingu did this because, of course, we needed phantoms, but it does show the flexibility and the non-linearity in the run. You can, as long as you have your TNT, you can choose to do debris whenever you want to. And this is a very common thing where people will do debris first or do debris after endgame. I'm not going to say it's 50-50, but it's very common for it to be front-loaded or back-loaded accordingly.
I would say you always want to do it first if you can. Like, it is a better thing to do if you can do it earlier. It's just that, like, as you say, it's very frequent that players will be like, hey, in this run, in this situation, it makes sense for me to do it later. But both of these players will be doing it before the end game, I think. Well, I don't know about Oxidiot, but Joy Pingu obviously is doing it right now. Oxidiot already did debris. That's a good point. Yeah. I did see that too. We were talking about it earlier.
And I said it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Speaking of endgame, when does time for this run end?
Time for this run will end, well, you'll see the timer in-game stop automatically. It'll end when we get the 80th advancement. It'll pop up in the chat.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be very obvious when that's about to happen. Probably.
Yeah. Usually this happens in the end dimension, which is appropriately named, when we resummon the Ender Dragon. And when that happens, you'll see it, and there's a big animation that plays, and then it'll go kaboom, and that'll be the last advancement of the run.
But that's not the case here.
What?
Because I don't think either of these players have breath. So one of the advancements that players used to get a lot of in the early game, used to get frequently in the early game, is, I don't actually remember the advancement's name. What's the one for Dragon's Breath?
You need a mint.
You need a mint, thank you. So there's an advancement called You Need a Mint, and You Need a Mint is when you use a empty bottle to collect a dragon's breath. Now, the thing is that these players both went for Zero Cycle, and in Zero Cycle, which is a very hard and difficult strategy, the dragon doesn't fireball you. If it does, it usually means that you've messed it up. So there won't be a fireball, and that means neither of them got You Need a Mint, which means they're both going to have to resummon the dragon in order to get it to fireball them so that they can get a mint, which will be like a minor time loss of, I think it's like 3 seconds, something like that, which will usually be the last advancement in these newer runs, which are faster paced, because players are now very consistent at doing Zero Cycle. Players didn't used to do that. A lot of players still don't do that in all advancements. It's one of those any percent strategies that kind of isn't like fully percolating into AA just because it's so hard. And like, it's like a different level of difficulty to a lot of the stuff that you need for an any percent split. So
is it faster to get that advancement You Need a Mint on the first time you summon the Ender Dragon?
Technically, there is a way, and when you watch the task, you will see this. We do get breath during the Zero Cycle. It is not consistent in any way, shape, or form to go for that. I don't recommend it. And fun fact, I'm not good enough at the game to do that myself, so I actually had Oxidiot record that part of the task for me.
Yeah, interesting. Zero Cycle, extremely difficult strategy. And so is doing debris, as you were seeing on Doi Pingu's screen. But these players are both very, very consistent, and so they can execute the Zero Cycle quite consistently. Something that's worth noting, you did ask, like, is that faster or slower? Zero Cycle, I think, technically is slower than the fastest Insta-Perch. That's correct, right? Yeah. So, like, if you get really lucky, it's actually slower to do Zero Cycle. But in Minecraft, generally speaking, and especially in AA, but overall these days in Minecraft, people value consistency more than they value... they value consistency, especially in the end game of the run, more than they value like the highest of high rolls. The chance of you getting an Insta-Perch are pretty low, so it's better to just go for the Zero Cycle, kill the dragon as soon as possible. Don't risk like a 3, 4, 5 minute end fight, and then You Need a Mint later, essentially. Is this still true with 2+2? I'm pretty sure it is. Because it can like
perch. World record end fight has been 0 for a while.
Yeah, the end fight in world record of any percent?
No, like the
the world record, the fastest
end fight spot.
Oh, okay. Maybe 0 is faster now.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're doing like,
if you do bow 0, it's
108 2+2, and then
Didn't
you
Hanabi do the
0.
do the task one cycle or the task fight?
well, I mean, in 121, everybody, but yeah.
Anyways,
There's a lot of ways to kill an Ender Dragon, as it turns out. So
many things to talk about.
Much to consider.
Not entirely relevant to this here. So
we're
once
talking
we
about
have
Ender Dragon here.
once we have our beacon set up, our conduit set up, our potions are done brewing. I'm waiting on Oxidiot here to get a B cycle. You see honey level on the F3 screen says 4. Once it gets to 5, we can harvest it. And then we're going to go leave, and we're going to go to the outpost. You'll see Doi Pingu is at an outpost right now. We're going to kill... Sorry. We're going to kill this guy with a banner on his head, and he's going to give us some advancements. He's also going to give us an effect called Bad Omen, which is going to let us start a raid when we go to a village. And when we go to a village and we beat the raid, this will be very cool. The waves are going to spawn in. We're going to use TNT to try to insta-kill the waves as soon as they spawn in, hopefully. And it'll go very quickly. But we need to win a raid to get the Hero of the Village advancement and to get the Hero of the Village effect. And then we go back and we have to get the Bad Omen effect a second time. So that's the first step of getting the effects, or how did we get here? We've done a bunch of setup, but now we're actually in the process of doing the advancement.
Yes. And so there's going to be 5 waves of this raid because these players both need to do normal raid. The reason you do normal raid and not easy raid is because although you need an effect from completing the raid, which you can get even if you do an easy raid, on normal raids, which spawn 2 more waves than easy waves, 5 instead of 3, you get the Evoker in the last wave. And that's a mob that you need to kill, and you also need it to spawn in Vexes. That's something an Evoker can do. Only an Evoker can do, in fact, unless you have cheats enabled, I suppose. And kill one of the Vexes. And of course, the drop of the Evoker is the Totem of Undying. And once you have a Totem of Undying, you can get another advancement, which is, I don't remember the name of it, but basically, Postmortal, thank you, which you need to activate the Totem of Undying for. So...
Oh my, what is this animal? I've never seen this before.
This is a Ravager, is what it's called.
A Ravager, interesting.
Yeah, it's a big guy. I guess it's modeled after a rhinoceros / elephant type of deal. Very tanky, very annoying. This is why we like to do debris before the raid. Debris, netherite armor, has an extra benefit of reducing knockback taken. And Ravagers are annoying because they push you back so much, and it makes it annoying to kill them. We've actually got Oxidiot in a different village here. Looks like a nicer village.
Sleeping mid-raid.
I don't know if I would call this a nicer village, but we'll see. Yeah, sleeping mid-raid, really useful because you don't want those nighttime mobs spawning on you during the raid, but also because you have to wait for the next raid wave to spawn, and Pingu is going to need to sleep anyways to do How Do We Get Here? So it's actually a really cool little overlap that he did there.
Interesting. That's very nice. That raid,
yeah,
that raider does not like Pingu right now.
Yeah, so this guy is the Evoker. So as you can see, he drops that Totem of Undying and also spawns in these little Vex things. They're so annoying and they're going to fly around, but Pingu finally kills one of them. And that is almost all of the mobs that we're going to need to kill, other than, I believe, Endermite and...
Guardian.
Yeah, I threw like 30 pearls.
I did too.
Yeah, we discussed this early in the run that Pingu had capped the pearls on him and was throwing them throughout the run, trying to get that Endermite to spawn. But unfortunately, as we discussed earlier, you can just get unlucky, and Pingu just got unlucky. So we still need more pearls. We're going to get those in the end later on.
Fun fact, the player that I had play this seed to make sure it was good enough, Snakesy, he did actually end the run with Endermite, not with Breath. So
not super surprising there.
We'll probably see that here as well.
Atrocious.
But yeah, Pingu has won the raid. So now we're going back. We're getting Bad Omen again. Once we get Bad Omen the second time, we have to be pretty careful, because if you were to fly into a village again, you would start another raid. We don't want that. So we have to avoid villages while we're flying for the rest of the run here. And after we get this, we're going to go to a monument. The monument has Elder Guardians, and Elder Guardians are going to give us mining fatigue. And mining fatigue is where the timer really starts ticking. Hero of the Village, you get the effect for an hour and 40 minutes, and Bad Omen you get for 1 hour. So those timers are kind of irrelevant. We're going to be done within an hour. But Mining Fatigue only lasts for 5 minutes. So as soon as we go to the monument, we get Mining Fatigue. We're hurrying.
And it does happen sometimes that players kind of like miss something or something goes too slow and you run out of fatigue, but almost never to these top players. So we're pretty confident that once we get fatigue, we're going to be seeing the end of the run in terms of like the big advancement we're waiting for within 5 minutes. So very excited to see that on both of these players' screens here. And Pac and I did discuss previously the idea of being quiet and letting the runners focus while they're doing How Do We Get Here. But considering that we have 2 attempts to get How Do We Get Here done and finish the run, I don't think we really need to do that. I think we can just talk as much as we want, Pac. What do you think?
I'm more than happy to continue to talk. But
we love yapping on this show. That's one thing for sure.
So Pingu here is sitting above the monument. Getting the mining fatigue effect is random. There it is. You see the little ghost.
It is guaranteed within 1 minute, though.
Yes. So there's a random offset per Elder Guardian, and then it repeats every minute. It'll try to give you mining fatigue. Then we're going to get a dolphin. So we lead a dolphin, and we're going to take this guy, and we're going to kidnap him, just like we took that shulker all those 2 hours ago. We took that shulker back to spawn. Now we're going to steal this dolphin and take him to spawn.
Yep, and we're going to combine our Depth Strider boots and the Dolphin's Grace effect that the dolphin gives us to swim really fast there and make it really easy to fly out of the water with the dolphin still on the lead. I don't know if we ever discussed flying mobs. We saw some interesting things with Pingu flying donkeys earlier in the seed, but we don't need to get back into that. But we're going to fly the dolphin, and it won't take any fall damage as long as we successfully pull it through the conduit water. Yep. Fantastic.
The reason, of course, that we need a dolphin is because it gives you Dolphin's Grace while you're swimming. We're then going to splash all of our potions, and then we are going to get our inventory set up. You need a couple of things to eat. We're going to get hit by the shulker. We're going to shoot ourselves with an arrow. I'm just going to let you watch it here.
Yep.
Yeah, shulker shots, arrow shots. Eat pufferfish, eat stew, eat enchanted golden apple.
Incredible. And how do we get here? And speaking of how do we get here, we should get ourselves over to watching Oxidiot's side of the screen, because Oxidiot is also going for how do we get here, I think. I'm not really 100% sure what's going on.
We're having some trouble with it.
Oh, no. I thought I saw you flying back and forth, but I see you don't have
I did almost. I started playing the
You almost did it without mining fatigue? Okay, that makes sense.
That would have been a very silly throw.
That would have been funny. We've never seen anybody do that, especially not in a draft tournament.
Whoa, this is new overlap. I've never seen...
That's incredible overlap. Sticky situation and going through the portal at the same time. And Pingu is raring up for the end of the seed, but so is Oxidiot. Can I be honest? Can I be frank here, Pac-Man?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know I said Pac-Man. That kind of sounded strange. It is incredible to me that these players are literally neck and neck here in this seed. This is like, they're like, what, like a minute, 2 minutes apart max? That's wild.
Within 2 minutes.
And they did such different things.
But I still need to clean up.
Well, we can't see your tracker, so we don't know about that. But.
That's true. I have 0 miss.
If you just let Pingu win, then you don't have to do the miss. You can just pretend that you didn't have it.
That's true, I
guess. Well, we'd be able to tell.
I mean, that's technically factual.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, let's let Oxidiot get how did we get here. In the meantime, Pingu is going to resummon the Ender Dragon here with these 4 end crystals. It's going to start shooting beams into the sky, and while that happens, that takes 30 seconds. That's a set time. We are going to throw some pearls and hopefully get an Endermite sometime soon.
Yeah. Of course, Pac would never choose a bad seed. This seed was approved by Snakesea. Uh-oh.
Oh, we have a flopping dolphin?
One of the many ways to lose an all-advancing seed is to have your dolphin decide it just doesn't want you to give you grace anymore, which is referred to as being a flopper dolphin. Really enjoyable.
Flopper dolphin was the name of my band in high school.
And Oxidiot gets how do we get here. Incredible. Both players get how do we get here. Neither player has finished the run yet, partially thanks to these atrocious Endermite rates coming out from the seed that was approved by Snakesea. Huge shout out to Snakesea, by the way, for testing out the seed so that these players could have this enjoyable experience.
Oh wait.
Yes. Share with the class.
I don't have Husk.
Oh. Okay, so Oxidiot is officially pace locked. So that's awesome. So Husk is
It's fine.
Yeah, so
you only have
Husk
3 minutes
is-
and 40 seconds.
it's okay. Husk is one of the hostile mobs that we need to kill. It's the Stray, but in the desert. It's a zombie variant, and it needs to be nighttime for it to spawn. It is currently noon, so we're gonna have to wait a couple of minutes before that can happen. Luckily, there's still some stuff that we need to do, including this Endermite business, so it won't be that bad.
And the timer stops from Doi Pingu, which means
Right
that Doi
at 2
Pingu has
minutes,
successfully completed it.
Oh, that's time for Doi Pingu? That's time.
That is time for Doi Pingu.
Dang.
GG's. Doi Pingu.
Oxidiot only a minute or two behind at most, which we could attribute that time loss purely to the channeling book that Doi Pingu luckily happened his way into.
Honestly, yeah, that honestly is probably true.
I forgot to grab my bees.
That's 2.5 minutes off of Doi Pingu's SRC time. That's really good.
Yeah, it was a good seed.
Thanks.
Wow.
If you want to see more All Advancements content at a very fast pace, DesktopFolder and I are co-hosting a tournament called Draft that we are going to be streaming this very weekend. It's going to feature Doi Pingu and Oxidiot, as well as many other All Advancements speedrunners. It's an AA event, and if you want to check out more All Advancements content, you're more welcome to check that out.
It's like this, but much faster paced, essentially. The runs are closer to an hour
instead
than
of
2.5 hours.
Instead of 2 hours and 17 minutes, it'll be 1 hour and 17 minutes. Hopefully.
And I believe you can check out the trailer or the link to the website in the pinned message in Twitch chat right now. Do we want to wait for Oxidiot to finish here, or do we want to wrap things up? What are we thinking?
We still.
I mean, I'm basically
Yeah.
there.
Awesome. Let's
still
do
got
that.
time.
Let's do that. While Oxidiot is finishing, should we
He
shout
was
out some
building out the
people?
rest of the boat with TNT.
It's beautiful.
We still have the room for like 30 more minutes. She can
Oh,
finish.
that's fantastic. This is like a really nice long room booking. Those are hard to come by.
Exactly. This has been a really, really enjoyable run. Doi Pingu, do you want to say, how do you feel after this after this performance today, Doi Pingu?
It was a good race. I mean, that save of the Phantoms was kind of my fault, but other than that, I feel like I played well.
Nice.
Yeah, I finished the run like last night. I was a 2:22 on a random seed, so it's cool like to get a similar time in a race.
Yippee.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it looks like Oxidiot has entered the end now.
Yeah, this
we're gonna be doing the same
will
thing
take
here.
a little
We're gonna-
bit because we need those those husks. Or sorry,
We're
the
gonna
Endermite. Also husks.
Yeah, we're gonna stare at a bunch of Endermen right in the eyes and anger them into this pit.
So I
I'm gonna
just
kill
looked
them
at my
all.
tracker.
Uh-oh.
The funniest
Oh,
little
no.
thing is looking back at me. I didn't get a Vex kill
Oh,
somehow.
Wait, really?
that's
I
crazy.
They
know the guys
spawned. I guess you just didn't
they
kill
spawned,
one.
and they were like harassing me while I was sleeping.
Oh, that's a little unlucky.
Your tracker must look very interesting right now. You've got Husk, Vex, Great View, Endermite. What else is on there?
Oh yeah, we need to great view. I guess the husk wasn't really a big deal after all, eh?
You can see
I think we're not going to be waiting for Oxy to finish the run if we need another
can.
Vex spawn. We can.
Vex isn't that
We
bad.
can. I mean, yeah, it's what, like...
If we have the time, we might as well.
Well, I mean, I think we should also leave it up to the two of you how much you want to go to bed at this point in time.
That's just you, bro. If you want to go to sleep, that's okay.
No, I
know
mean,
you're tired.
Well, I'm not stuck
like,
here. I could leave at any point.
We are we're still like 38 minutes to even the estimate here, and so honestly, like we can stay here for as long as y'all need. If we need to like cut it off or like mercy kill, we will be very obvious about it. Don't worry.
Mercy.
That's fantastic.
No, we'll be okay.
Oxy has never
This is,
forgotten Great View in a run.
Yeah, this
She
is
remembers
a funny
eventually.
bit. Yeah, no. So I guess I'll bring this up just because I want to. Oxidiot. I don't remember when this happened for the first time, but Oxidiot once like forgot Great View, and I was watching her stream, and I was like, "Hey, you forgot Great View." This is like an hour later, like in the overworld, and then it happened a second time. I don't know if it was the same day or the same stream or whatever, but it happened a second time in very close like succession, and I was like, "Wow, you do this a lot." And then ever since I said that, I think I cursed her, and now she forgets like. Over half the time, I'm honestly gonna say.
Personally, my headcanon is that it's intentional. My headcanon is that it's intentional. It's a bit. She's doing it just to mess with you personally, Pac. I think that's what it is.
But like we're losing like a whole minute. Anyway, go ahead, Ozmourn.
So Pac, you want to talk more about the tourney that you're hosting? Like, what format is it?
Sure.
Like, what more can we learn about this tourney exactly?
Oh my goodness.
Right. So we're gonna be running with this same RNG synchronization mod, except with a couple other boosts, as well as filtered seed as we gave to the runners today, except a little better. The main idea of the tournament is we want very fast-paced AA gameplay. Like we said, we were aiming for close to 1 hour runs. And the way that we do this is, well, it's called draft. We've got drafts. There's a bunch of items that you can draft in your run, kind of like if you were doing like a fantasy football league, you can draft players. Here you can draft advancements or other items. Like you could draft, a diamond pickaxe or a trident, or you could draft advancements like complete catalog, and then you don't have to do any of the cats. So it's a competitive format. Like you can have a room of people in them. You draft against each other. You start with these bonuses at the beginning of the run, and they take out a chunk of things that you would normally have to do, but you no longer have to do in the run. And then it speeds it up. They're very fast paced, which makes them very exciting to watch. I don't know, Folder. What else would you like to say?
I don't know. Should I go find my script from the first trailer?
I mean, if you want, that'd be nice. That'd be nice to see
read the script
because I do like the sound of that kind of format of a tourney, especially since you're looking for runs that are like an hour. That's very fast.
Yes,
a gameplay.
That's exactly like why it was created. The entire format was basically me and Pac talking, going, "Hey, what would we have to do to make all advancements a tournament viable format?"
Because doing 2.5 hour runs is just not feasible for an entire event. It would just take too long.
Yeah, when we're all like adults that have other responsibilities outside of speedrunning, that's quite the ask for 2.5 hours every time at a time.
And we do have the Draft 1 tournament winner in call as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Better known as the loser of the Hotfix race.
I thought you were going to say the loser of Draft's first tournament. Oxidiot, notorious for coming back from the dead in the first ever draft tournament, using her Totem of Undying to make it straight into the finals and beat Feinberg 2-0 in a gripping best of 3 that took place last May. Honestly, one of the most incredible series ever.
What? Help.
Speaking of, I remember at the beginning of the run, we started a prediction about who was going to win the race, Doi Pingu or Oxidiot. Doi Pingu believers are cashing out big right now.
Oxy, you lost me my house. I'm homeless now. Thank you.
Was that the favorite?
It seems as such, yeah.
Why?
Oh, 70%. You were 70-30. It was 70-30.
What? That's crazy.
Wow.
You guys
it was probably mostly just Pac.
The total pot was 393,000 points to Doi Pingu and 939,000 points to Oxidiot. Almost 1 million points to Oxidiot.
You guys, I'm sorry, I guess.
That's completely wild.
A lot of people just lost their house.
Pingu is offended.
Should be. Pingu is the better runner.
A lot of people just lost their house.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry if you put the mortgage on the Hotfix race.
No, I just play more now that you guys.
Also, time is coming up for me. Now.
All right, there we go. GG's. That was really good. I'm still 30 minutes under estimate, by the way. That's great.
Yeah, that was still like 225 is.
It's a good run, yeah. I was hoping for a 230, like a sub 230, because I know we had the breaks and I wanted to fit it into the 3 hours. But also the way that the category works is like if I give them a seed that has all of the things, it'll just be a fast run.
Yeah, it's just like not being sub 3 is so like I don't know how I would lose 30 more minutes on top of this run. 35 more minutes.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, it's just a safe estimate in case someone dies or the seed has something really wrong with it.
Thank goodness you guys didn't die.
No, for sure. Thank you, both Pingu and Oxidiot, for that amazing race. People in chat really loved it. I know I really loved it. For those that have been watching the show regularly, I always like to have a good amount of people involved in my episodes, usually with 3 to 4 runs each. This is the first episode that we've done that is just one run the whole time. If you like this kind of format, let me know. Because stuff like this is really fun to have, and I wanted to do something very nice and have a Minecraft All Advancements race because MCSR ranked is or MCSR right now is really popular right now, and so having 2 of the top runners of this category facing up against each other felt very appropriate with how much ranked is booming at this moment, and to hear more about the tournament that Pac-Man is organizing right now just goes to show how competitive this kind of community is. With that being said, I'm going to give you all just a minute or two to just shout out anything you want to shout out. Let the people know where we can find you, what more we can see in the Minecraft community. Go on ahead. If the runners want to go first, and then the commentators.
Yeah. Shout out Ozmourn. Thanks for inviting me and Ox to this. It was a lot of fun. I hope to be on a real GDQ someday. Like, Hotfix is awesome. This was amazing, but a GDQ, SGDQ, that's what we're gunning for. It's been a while since Minecraft's been one of those. Yeah, I'll shout out all my friends who are watch partying this right now. Gooch, who I share every AA co-op record with, which is pretty cool. Catherine, Snakesy for playtesting. Fudge, a lot more people. Back and forth for commenting as well.
Yeah, I mean, shout out all the community members. Shout out Doi Pingu. Go follow Doi Pingu for good all advancements grinding. Follow me for occasional all advancements grinding. I've been kind of not super consistent with it recently, but hopefully I can still get the streams out. Yeah. Shout out the commentators. I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying for most of the run, but
that's fair.
That's fair. The viewers weren't either.
I assumed they were good.
All right, in our desktop folder, Pac-Man, anything y'all want to shout out?
I've done my spiel. I'm done.
That's fair. I'd just like to shout out Ozmourn. Thanks for inviting us. And shout out Doi Pingu and Oxidiot. You should totally go check them out. Great AA players. There's a lot of really cool people in the AA community. If you like these runs, you can always join the All Advancements speedrunning Discord. People who go live usually have their streams posted there. So if you want to see more All Advancements gameplay just in general, there's lots and lots of people who are very happy to like introduce you to the category and let you know what they're doing when they're doing runs. Kush W, Doi Pingu, Oxidiot, Snakesy. Tons more people as well who play lots of all advancements here and there. I don't know, that kind of is an oxymoron, but whatever. Yeah, thanks to you, the viewers, of course. Really, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So to each and every one of you who enjoyed this run, we appreciate you. If you didn't enjoy the run, I don't appreciate you, but like I'm still glad that you were there because like it's good for viewership. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Thank you all so much for that amazing race. I absolutely loved it, and chat really loved it. People really showed up for this race. I was seeing chat the whole time, and people absolutely loved the closeness that this race had. Oxidiot and Doi Pingyu were absolutely amazingly talented runners, and I hope that you all enjoyed this episode of the Scenic Route as much as I did, because it was truly a pleasure to be here with amazing talent, to be here with amazing commentators, and to just enjoy Minecraft speedrunning. Again, there is so much going on in the Minecraft speedrunning community right now, and so go check out the tournament, go check out the tasks, go check out all of the MCSR ranked stuff that you can find right now, because that's really popping right now. And generally, I also want to shout out our producer Richard, who has been in the chat giving links to all the different resources, shouting out the runners, and seeing these instant replays you've been seeing on the stream as this episode's been going down. So again, shout outs to all of our producers here at GDQ Hotfix, and shout outs to our runners and commentators for an amazing show. I have been Ozmourn, and I just want to say, if you have missed out on any of this the episodes for Perilous Paths or the Scenic Route tonight, stay tuned for a replay that's coming up after this. And so we will be playing Perilous Paths right after this, where we saw all those Pokemon runs, and then of course this exact race over here on the Scenic Route again. And then tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Do All the Things by Mr. Shasta and Parallel Universe by Helix. So again, that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. for more GDQ Hotfix. Our next episode for the Scenic Route will be again on Monday, March 2nd, our typical Monday time instead of Thursday, and February 2nd.